TopLobsta Productions. Here.
We are being hypnotized by people like this. Newsreaders, politicians, teachers, lecturers. We are in a country and in a world that is being run by unbelievably sick people. The chasm between what we're told is going on and what is really going on is absolutely enormous.
Oh yeah, dude. There's some Nephilim.
It's like we all know what's going down, but no one's saying shit what happened to the home of the brave. These motherfuckers, they controlling us now, and no one's talking about how they made us fight and be slaves. And everybody's just walking around, heading the clouds and wanna wake up to a dead in the grave. But then it's too late, we need to be ready to raise up. Welcome to the end of days.
Everybody is slaves, only some are aware that the government releasing poison in the air.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of NDS Chronicles, the show where we read your
The
submitted...
show where we start on time.
That's right.
Right now.
I think we're on time, right? What did we say? We said we were going to be here at 10:03. Isn't that it? And so as far as I'm concerned, we're 2 minutes early.
We've determined that something's wrong with David's clock because I have my phone here and it says 10 and my computer says 10 as well. David says 10:03. So I don't know what's going on.
I don't know why that's would be the case when it's hooked up to the internet. You would think it would self-adjust. I guess I'm going to have to...
Are you using one of those watches from these guys?
No, it's a thing. It's on the computer.
You ever seen these watches? Check this out. These guys here, the Wesson
who's
Watch
that?
Company.
Wait. I was following them for a second, Wasson, because I was like, I like a good watch.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do something with them in the future. But then I was like, I don't care.
No, we can't. Let's look them up. Wasson.
Why? That's interesting. I can't believe that came up on your radar.
A biblical marriage month. So these guys are pretty based, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Let's see what they did here.
What was that?
They posted a meme. I don't even know if I can find it. Okay, yeah. So they're very upset about this thing.
Every single time? That's very funny.
No. They didn't post that. Dissident Soaps posted this because they posted something about if you were bashing you'd be wearing a Wasson watch. And then they went ahead and called Dissident Soaps, which is the homies. Go buy their soaps if you smell like but
yeah.
They called them, and it's just like, so these guys, Wasson, are supposed to be a right-wing based company, and then they went ahead and they doxed. I'm not even going to go through this.
No
but they
way,
doxed,
did they? They did a big crybaby thing?
Yeah, they doxed the owner of Dissident Soaps, and these guys are, you know what? I don't even want to make it about those other faggots. So let's just check out Dissident Soaps real quick. Sponsor of the show. They're not a sponsor of the show.
Let's go. Maybe we can have a little conversation with Dissident Soap. That would be dope.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're pretty good on soaps. Actually,
oh, that's true. Yeah, the Van Man crushes.
Yeah, if you guys buy TopLobsta, I'll announce it, but it's just not yet. I have to get the merch there, but the Van Man gave us a bunch of sponsors, a bunch of samples. I'm looking at them now, so I'm gonna be like, with every T-shirt sale, you're gonna be getting a sample of Van Man.
All kinds of like tooth powder, sunblock,
creams,
creams
shit
for
like
your
that.
body.
What an odd thing. We're giving like Van Man huge plug, and then we're like also Dissident Soaps. But check them out. They have they have really cool, and they're actually
Van Man's too.
Yeah, Van Man's too. The soap is you. But Van Man does more than soap, obviously. But these guys are based. They made a joke because these guys were, if you could see at the bottom, there's like a little thing, and they're like, if you wear a Wasson, you'd be bashing Nazis' heads in. And he just wrote every single time with this.
That's so funny.
It is funny. And then they deleted it because the artist that does Wasson watches complained. So they deleted this. And they're like, oh my God, obviously. Oh, thank you, Tyler. How are you doing?
Tyler.
They're like, obviously these guys are running away from their blah, blah, blah. Because, these guys are basically, they must be, but they're
Who's
based
running
right
away from
wing.
it? Seems like Dissident Soaps is really leaning into it.
Yeah, but because they deleted this tweet that we're looking at, and they deleted it because the artist complained. The same way, like I asked you to delete the thing with
Tanya Yiki, where I made Jose black, and I said, "Have you ever heard of the KFC?"
I don't know who Jose is, but yes, it's the same idea where I just asked you to. I was like, just delete it because we like whatever. These people, I just don't want to be involved with them, so they did that. But these people are so like, how is that? And
That's
then
very
like.
Gay.
So they're like a anonymous right wing based watch company, which we need more of these kind of things.
Sure.
Like, stop buying from people that hate you. That's like the
honestly,
real lesson here.
If somebody did, I mean, I would have said, wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's a very funny thing to do every single time like that. That's so hilarious.
But that's not what they were mad about. Initially, what they were mad about was the rampant in the world. And it's just like, oh my God. Go to Bohemian Grove if you want to talk about rampant. Like that's
stroke.
Yeah. Oh God, they would lose their. And as a matter of fact, you know what? We haven't even plugged the Patreon. I think
let's do that. Guys, well, two things. Number one, if you want to submit content to this show,
yes.
Chronicles NDS
content.
at Gmail. Was that it? Chronicles NDS at gmail.com?
Is it?
We're gonna get you the actual.
Yeah. Chronicles NDS at gmail.com. As a matter of fact, we have a banner for it, but go ahead. Keep going.
You can send your schizophrenic, supernatural testimony to chroniclesnds at gmail.com. And we'll read it here on the show. And last time we read somebody's crippling addiction, you know, apparently this has become sort of a confessionals for folks. I don't know if that serves you. If it does, and you want to get something off your chest, that, you know, maybe anonymous is the way to do it. We'll read it on the show. Anyway, chroniclesnds at gmail.com. Also, if you're a loser and you missed out on the greatest event known to man, and it genuinely, I don't even think I'm being, you know, what's the word?
Hyperbolic.
Hyperbolic. Thank you very much. I don't think I'm being hyperbolic when I say that. It was incredible. I was talking to Shane Cashman for like an hour yesterday, and he was like, the energy in that room was absolutely insane. Bohemian Grove crushed. If you're seeing all the footage and you feel like you missed out, fear not, loser. Go to patreon.com/Nephilim Death Squad. Sign up for the $10 tier, and both days are there, raw and unedited, for only $10. You can watch 12 hours of content. One of the greatest events that's ever been thrown, in my my humble opinion.
Ever been thrown? Yeah, here it is.
Thrown.
You can pay $10 just for the live stream link if you're like a low commitment user, and that's fine. But there's 11 hours or almost 12 hours of content there. Or if you join at the $10 tier level, which is our very special Death Squad specialist level, you'll get free access to that. And a lot of people have chosen to do that, and I thank you for joining and hanging out. But yeah, dude, that show was the more I like look back and the more I hear people talking about it, yeah, it was an anti-Semitic false flag. That's right, not nice guy.
I think that's a good way of putting it.
It seems like something really cool happened. It's hard to tell when you're like there and doing it, but you guys liked it. The people that listened to it really liked it, and me and you had an intense conversation yesterday while I was at Aldi's stealing. We were talking about what are you laughing about?
No. It's just, you know, very, very island behavior.
I could afford it. I could afford it, but
it's about the principle of the thing.
You just got to steal. Sometimes you got to take that carriage and not put it back. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. Did I tell you that, you know, you were over at the soundboard making sure that everything was going well. And I had the great pleasure, because I said, look, Owen Benjamin is on our stage right now. Mm-hmm. How often do you get to even watch an Owen Benjamin performance? You know, not very often. He hasn't come out in 5 years. I sat next to sweet Eamon Rat, who is one of the star dangerous, one of our biggest supporters and one of my favorite people.
We don't know where Eamon Rat lives, but we're looking to hire him for free, possibly, to come down. We don't want you to do anything. Just laugh. Just sit. Yeah, we talk like this, like IRL, and then you sit in the corner and laugh. That's like
that was my favorite part about all the VIPs in the front row, the dangerous who paid for the VIP. They enjoyed it so much, just seeing the joy on their faces and seeing the laughter and everything. Eamon Rat was loving every second of it. I sat directly next to him, and I could have reached out and just gave Owen Benjamin's foot a honk if I wanted to.
It's a smart move. That's why whenever I perform with whatever was Tower Gang, I make sure to sit next to Cole. It was a mistake this year because he farted. It was horrible.
Dude, but his farts smelled like propane.
My mouth was open. But anyway,
somebody should check on him, see if he's still alive.
Ooh, yeah, whatever. He'll be fine. But I sit next to him because it brings me the most joy. Yeah. You know, like he shakes a lot, he smells a little. But he has like really good energy. So I get that. Like that was a smart move. You're like, I'm gonna sit next to this guy and make it more enjoyable. Not my wife. Next to Eamon Rat.
Well, you guys, you were off to the side doing the soundboard, making sure the show, which was necessary because you got mics and you've got instruments on stage. I sat front row and enjoyed one of the greatest performances I had ever seen, and just listen to Toad and listen to Owen do their musical number. I got to, chant throw the down the well. It was so great, man. It was so great. There we go. Jack sat next to Toad the first night. That's definitely a move.
Another
That's a powerful move.
Power move. Yeah, I wouldn't sit next to him, but yeah, I get the idea of why you'd want. As a matter of fact, are we here yet that we could? Oh, we'll talk about what we're gonna do with Bro Grove, and then we'll play a little. We got a movie from the video editor who's like slowly releasing some of the all this footage. So I guess we'll all watch it for the first time, and then we'll get into some Chronicles. Maybe.
Yeah. And this is a 30-minute preview only because we don't. Like you guys.
So you guys are gonna get bullshit, a lot of bullshit,
and then by the time we get around to stories, you're gonna get kicked out of the thing. How cool is that? Oh, that's nice.
Rough.
Jack says he sat next to me. In all fairness, you must have a certain animal magnetism, Jack.
Very cool. Very cool. So we were talking as I was stealing, and we were saying like, what are we gonna do with all this footage? We got a lot of footage.
Yeah.
We want to make some documentaries, and we have an idea for 2 of them. The first documentary would be day 1, as much as we could scrape together, but realistically, we'll have to like film a lot more because we set out to talk about certain things, like the stuff we just did with Jamie Hanshaw, but we didn't really. I don't think we executed that on the live show, but that's fine because you guys enjoyed yourself. So, we just brought a film crew out there for no reason.
We set out with this idea to talk about, telepathy tape and all that kind of thing and UFOs. But when you get on stage with Tripoli and, you kind of feel the direction that the audience wants to go in, it became much more of an entertainment-driven experience where it was comedic, it was conspiratorial, but it was kind of chaotic and it was a lot of fun. And so we didn't want to just zero in and try to give you guys a TED Talk, especially when we have the great Sam Tripoli on the stage, who is excellent at that, that kind of energy that you need when somebody's on stage. And we were able to.
And he wouldn't let us anyway. Like he
would have never let us. He would have never let us. Eamon Rat says, did the confessional booth.
Oh, did it work out?
I don't know.
We don't know.
I have no idea yet. I told the story in there, but it was very loud.
Yeah, I haven't seen the footage, so we'll figure that out. But yeah, we told Sam, like, we want to talk about this, that, and he came up, and the first thing he did was drop an N-bomb, and I said, well, this is gonna go sideways, and I was like, we just did whatever we thought. Oh, CD, what up?
Hey, CD, there she is. I don't know if it went sideways. I think it was incredible. Honestly, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
It showed a side of us that I wasn't sure existed, and that is, we can do an entertaining thing here with a camera and a computer and an audience that's in a chat. Does that translate to stage presence? And I dare say it does. I think we nailed that. So, we didn't quite talk about Puharich and things like that, but we do have a documentary that we are working on. We'll use some of the footage from there, and we'll have to record a lot more stuff. But there is a second documentary that I think we're going to end up doing. And
I think this is the real sleeper. This is a big one.
Yeah. And I ended up talking to Cashman about it, and he's in. So the idea is basically, and I haven't really talked to you about where me and Cashman landed on it, but I think you'll agree with this. It's like we faced something that looked like cancel culture, right? Really, it was Owen that got canceled in a big way, and it was us who stood our ground and said, we're not going to fold. We're going to keep Owen. That was never even on the table. I want to make that clear. Even with all the Clint stuff and everything, like, it was never on the table that we were ever going to. We never had a conversation resembling the idea of letting Owen go from the jump. And so, but I think what happens here is it's a triumphant story, right? We're going to talk about our plans, how they fell through with the Leesburg Theater, what this really represents in the way of cancel culture and that fear-driven mindset, and how actually paper thin it was, right? There was a time where cancel culture was real, and guys like Owen and Sam and all these other homies took real arrows and really suffered, lost PayPal, lost Airbnb, lost opportunities and gigs and all this crazy. And I think what we're really showing you here is that, given the fact that we secured another venue in 24 hours, this thing is nothing but a husk. This is nothing but a husk. This thing that everybody thinks is cancel culture is dead. And it took a couple of, like Top and I, to come over and just kick over this scarecrow. It's not real anymore. And I don't think it's about, look what we overcame. Look at how cool we are. I don't think it's even that. I think it's, hey, this isn't real anymore.
You know what it was?
What's
that's one of your dreams. Oh God.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. What are the dreams? Which one? Which one of the many dreams?
You know the one where the witch like comes up to you on wheels and she's like, and then you just start feeding it up.
Yes,
it was
I
like that.
one. I remember that one.
That's exactly what this was like. It was like, huh, and we were just like, what are we gonna do though about this thing? And then you just start punching it, and I was like, oh yeah, let's just punch it. What are we doing? And that's that's kind of what we did.
It's not real. It looks scary, you know, on the surface. It's got a visage that looks a lot like the cancel culture of old, right? The thing that Owen Benjamin suffered from, and Tripoli and Elijah and all these people suffered from. But what we're here to say is we're here to light the beacons, right? We're here to light the beacons of Gondor and signal to the rest of the culture this isn't real anymore, because it didn't even slow us down. All we did was have a light stumble. It was like on the path to this, we stepped on a stone and almost kind of rolled our ankle. And then we looked back and said, whatever, and just kept going, right?
So that was, like, I mean, a couple of us fell off from like this weird stumble.
Yeah,
and
which I don't even think really was as much related to that as it was a difference in theology, a difference in convictions and values and things of that nature, and really ultimately a difference in business acumen, dare I say. That's what this really was, and it was never really about anybody folding to cancel culture, in my opinion, because this was a paper mache monster that we just tore apart and kept moving. We walked through it like it didn't exist, and that is what I want this documentary to be: is a triumphant signaling to the people that it's done, and we can pull the culture back in the direction that we want it, and that this monster is nothing but a shadow of its former self.
Even more so, like, to the testament of that is, I think that the documentary might be about Owen Benjamin.
Yeah.
Because he has not toured in a long time. And this is something I've been telling David privately, but I'll say it here too, is like, he did 2 or 3 specials in his in his Missouri farm. And this is not a knock on Owen at all, or the Bears, but he did the specials and I enjoy them. But there's something about it where he's playing to his crowd, and you're not going to get a real true laugh. And I think he knows that. You're not going to get a real laugh from those guys because they respect you too much.
Yeah.
Like, I'm also aware of that with the guys that came out to see us, the whole front row, you know, they're laughing at what we do. And I'm like, okay, thanks. But I'm looking at the lady in the back. You know, I'm looking at somebody that showed up, that's there, that kind of likes us, or somebody that might have bought a ticket for somebody else. They want to see, you know, the Cult of Conspiracy, or they want to see just Sam. Like, are they enjoying it? Because I know you guys enjoy it, and that's great. But then I'm just going to ignore you. And I think Owen got a view of that, because he hasn't played a live crowd in a long time. And a lot of this was our audience. A lot of this, you know, was mixed.
Oh, look at this. We dropped unbelievable. Oh my goodness, we lost TopLobsta. I don't know what he was about to say, but his entire internet just went down. I guess we'll just keep it going and flowing. I'm not going to make myself big screen because you could see the edges of my my backdrop, and I don't want you guys to see that. It's
so
very
sorry.
Unprofessional. There he is. Very unprofessional, yeah. TopLobsta.
That was weird. It just the screen went black.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so what was I saying? That, bye, Top. See you later.
Well, you were saying that Owen hasn't been out in front of a crowd, and now he was out in front of our crowd, which is different than the Bears. Not necessarily. He's not playing to the home crowd.
No, exactly. And playing to the home crowd is different, and then it also changes your comedy. Like, his comedy, the home crowd comedy that he was doing was like, he could do really wholesome, safe stuff, because like, he's doing 3-hour streams every day talking to these people, and they're talking about their inside jokes, and they're talking about their stuff, and he can go there and he can do it. But at one point during the set, he's working, and I love the way he works, because he'll go, this dude's a professional. This is what I'm saying. Like, he hasn't done this in forever. And he goes, you guys like that? And people will go, yeah, like, they like that. And he goes, okay. And there's even some bits that he's telling me, he's like, I'm going to do a bit about like people with telekinesis. And then he decided, no, after he said, do you guys like that? Everybody said, yeah. He goes, I'm going to move here. And he moves to a bit that he did 10 years ago. He just pulled it out, and he's like, because that fits now. Like, you're watching the crowd, and you're seeing what they're reacting to, and you're seeing what fits in. I feel like we did a decent job of that on NDS with Sam, where we're talking and like I'm paying attention to the crowd briefly, right? I'm seeing what they like and what they're responding to, and we'll give them a little bit more of that. But I also have a direction that I kind of want to go in.
Yeah.
And he did exactly that. I think that's healthy for a stand-up comedian. And anyway, he did all this stuff.
I agree. I had an idea of where we were going to go on stage 2, and there was a moment when I saw an opportunity to interject it, but it would have required like stepping on you and him while you were talking, and so I just let it go, and we just shifted to whatever direction that we felt. It's feeding off the energy of a live crowd, and then allowing that energy to flow you in a certain direction, and I think we nailed that. And I just want to address this real quick. Z-Man said, "Did the Liberty Lockdown fans that bought a ticket like it though?" To be perfectly honest, and I'm not even trying to throw around. We lost 2 people. 2 people asked for a refund that were going to be there for Liberty Lockdown. And that's not even a slight to Clint. I'm just realizing that's not what this event was about. This crowd that was there.
It was about.
They were there for. Right? That's what I'm talking about. So this crowd that was there was there for something different. And I'm not saying that Clint couldn't pull a crowd or whatever, or couldn't contribute to ticket sales in a different context. That's not what this was.
Hold on one second. I'll also address more of this. Holy Glaze, Owen isn't the greatest comedian. I didn't say he's the greatest comedian of all time. He's one of my favorites. Obviously, I'm biased, but when you're
Can we not talk about the guy that just performed at our event and did a good job?
Yeah. When you're doing something like this, and you're like, because I'm not just doing like a podcast or comedy. I pay attention to what I'm doing, and I pay attention. I listen to, well, not Nephilim Death Squad, but on Tower Gang, I'd listen back to almost every episode, and I'd say, what did I do wrong? What did we do right? What could we do more of? Because that's what this is about. Like if you're playing any sport, you have to watch your tape, and you got to figure out what you did in the small fundamentals. That's just something I learned from baseball. And so I'm watching Owen in that aspect, and I'm explaining it to you guys. So instead of being take some notes, because you could probably learn from it.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. What I recognize with him is that so that bit that he took out was an older bit, but it's just testament to like he's not playing in front of his crowd. So he immediately ditched some of the new stuff that he's working when he was like, this will fit here. And then afterward, like he was just glowing, because you could tell that like this is what he is supposed to do. Yeah. This is what like stand-up comedians, this is what they're supposed to do. And I think the event was like, it showed everybody, and it showed him like, I'm supposed to do this.
Yep.
Whatever the just happened here, like with the canceling and what happened before, that's all bullshit, and it's over now.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know if it broke the spell, but I think we'll be seeing Owen do live stuff.
I hope
in
so.
Other places. Yeah.
Can we play? We have some sort of a clip of Toad. Used to have it on stage until the government shut you down. Let's bring that back up, and maybe we can show that. I don't know what it's going to be, but we'll show this clip, and then we're gonna get into content. We'll let the people. Why don't we let the people hang around a little bit longer today, since we actually didn't read any stories yet?
We'll think about it.
Emily says that's what I've been telling David to do with TLC. I can't. No, you made me. You can see the edges of my wall now. Look what you've done. I don't like it.
I'll fix that.
I can't go back. Can you make it? Can you fix it? Like, it's giving me anxiety. What if I put my arms like this?
We got it.
There we go. So I can't listen back to TLC and do anything with it. It is what it is. It's like a live journal dump and a hang with the crowd, and I'm never gonna watch it back at all. It's a very bad.
It's hard to do. I don't like, when I listen to Tower Gang, I don't like to listen to my parts. I like to listen to the other guy's parts, if that makes sense. Like there's been times where I'll skip past my part. You know, like you press 15 seconds, keep going.
Yeah,
I was like, I know what I said. It might have maybe somebody laughed, but I was like, I don't want to hear it again. All right, let's watch Toad.
This is just Toad.
Al sent us a video that just said Toad, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'll watch it.
It is
the exact opposite of everything that I've ever done.
I've become quite a fan of this.
Wow, look at the video.
Why don't you hop on up here, Toad?
This is a song by people might have heard of this song. I don't know. I don't think it was very popular or anything. It is called Hell.
Oh boy, here we go. Do you want me to do Ira's backup? All right, I'm going to be the music executive listening to this from Toad. Oh, I'm so excited. Here we go.
Ready?
mic your sweet?
Oh yeah, Mike's falling down.
I got you.
This didn't. Yeah, this didn't work.
It's stroke.
I love this.
We gotta hear that sweet ukulele. You got that? Can we crank that sound? We gotta get that
You might
ukulele.
crank it way up, yeah. Is it not on? That would explain it, right?
Classic Toad. Mike wasn't on. What a face.
I mean,
We gotta get the mic on.
Just like me,
You can use my mic.
Oh, when it feeds back, he goes, "Whoa!" It's so funny.
Oh, there it is. Let's do it, Toad.
So the ukulele is a soft instrument, man. So it's
Beautiful.
First these people took my kids from me, then they stole my bank account. I got so angry.
Yeah, I'm
they
liking this
got
part. This
voted
part's
and
great.
taken out. Thinking I'm stuck in a matrix. Where the fuck's my nitrous? Yes, I am a cock. I like when people on my
Oh, Jesus.
my.
It's his. Right, there we go.
I'm posting on Twitter. What it goes, they're telling me, hey, don't say that. Hey, don't say that. See me in public. I'm driving an all chrome Maybach with all my money and fame. I still can't see my children with all my money and fame. I still can't get my kids back. Niggas see my Twitter, but they don't see how
Look at
I'm
Elijah.
feeling. So I became a Nazi. Yeah, bitch, I'm the villain. People were invited to sing along with this, by the way. If you've ever heard the song before,
There we go. Just if you sing along, you won't have a PayPal account in about 8 minutes.
how
Oh, Jesus.
I don't understand the things I say on Twitter. Nigga, how it looks.
Oh, God, they're doing it.
Understand the things I say on Twitter.
Jesus. You gotta stop this Toad right now. They f***ing did the hand thing.
He just get, he would have kept going forever too.
You don't understand because you can't spell English words. They're hailing. This is my worst nightmare. Have irritable bowel syndrome. Ladies and gentlemen, Toad!
It's so funny. It's so funny because that moment. Look at it.
That was touching and beautiful.
so
Thank
nice.
you, guys. Thanks for coming. Make some noise for
And then Owen brings him back out, and he does throw the down the well. And let me
Yeah.
tell you something: the energy for throw the down the well was nuts.
Crazy. It was crazy.
That really got crazy. It took a while to get that one zeroed in, and then it came together for the Heil Hitlers. But yeah, the mic did
Yeah.
pick up the uke better for the video than for live. That's for sure, Tyler, because we couldn't hear it live at all. I mean, I was in the front row, so I had the great pleasure of seeing that.
That was my fault. We were having discussions about like, should we buy a plug-in uke, and that would have worked. But if you buy a plug-in uke, it would have been like very tinny and I don't know. So I was like, yeah, we could probably just mic this thing. But this instrument is so like it's right there. I'm looking at
It's
it
so
and
soft.
I pick up the bag and I was like, did he put it back in the bag? And I open it, I'm like, it's in here. It doesn't even feel like anything. It's like,
Yeah, it feels like
it's not
paper.
even a pound. It's crazy. Yeah. Man.
JP
All right. Well,
says they say Toad is still howling to this day.
oh, he was
He
just
would have
like,
gone on forever.
the man is like, you put him on stage and he just flies. It's the craziest. It's the craziest thing
I'm
to
surprised
witness.
he kept his shoes on, to be perfectly honest. Let's all right, let's get into some of the story. We'll allow the pores to hang around for a little bit, for at least one email, and then we'll.
Okay. I'm gonna have to delete that off YouTube as soon. As a matter of fact, we're gonna take it off of YouTube right now.
Yeah, because YouTube, we're gonna get dinged for the hiling of.
They don't f- around with that song, so
they don't
find
understand
us,
the things I say on Twitter
or YouTube. Find us on Rumble, and let's
go to Rumble. Continue
YouTube.
watching the stream because we got to get this out of there real quick.
Bye.
Bye, babies. Okay.
All right. Back to the show.
We're gonna get straight into. We were supposed to have a bunch of emails, but Nancy has been slacking. It's been my understanding she's been on vacation in another state for a few days, and so I guess I kind of
Nancy's
forgive
just
her.
there. She's saying this was amazing. I was like, great, Nancy, but what about our?
What about
That's
the
fine.
job that we pay you to do? Really, really negligent. Negligent is the word that I'm looking for. So here, let's get into this one. This comes from Joel Bear. That's not a doxing. This is a member of the Bears, Beartarian folk, Owen Benjamin's people. So that's very nice. He goes,
Wait, I don't think we were supposed to say his name.
No, it's just Joel Bear. It's not like his last name's not Bear. He's
okay.
Just a guy named Joel. And he even says it. I'm gonna say his full handle at some point. Is there a hair in my mouth? Anywho, he says, "Hey guys,
Hey,
I have been listening to your podcast for almost a year now, and you have quickly become my number 2 behind the band hammer Owen Benjamin, but well ahead of Sam Tripoli."
very disrespectful.
Very
You
unnecessary.
didn't have to say that.
As he just doesn't hit on the same level as you two dangerous. Well, thank you very much. It was a surreal experience sharing the stage with those two guys, by the way. Anywho, I would like to share my experiences regarding sleep paralysis. Please do. Since I can remember, I've had recurring sleep paralysis, though I've never experienced any actual paranormal visions. I have recognized a pattern regarding my experience, and it happens like so. I will experience total blackness, but I am aware that I am awake, yet I cannot move my body or see anything. And to get out of this experience, I have learned over the years that if I do a full body convulsion, I'll be sleeping on my side, legs slightly bent in the position, and essentially what I do is try to shake my whole body very violently. I had a little bout of sleep paralysis the other day, and I was falling asleep. I laid on my stomach, which is a nightmare. When you have sleep paralysis and you're on your stomach, that one's really scary. And just because it's like, you're on the cusp of smothering yourself. And to wake up, so I couldn't move my body, right? But I could move my face. So I did this.
Just rub your face on something? What do you do?
And then I woke up. Yeah. I had to like rub my face, my mouth, and my nose on my pillow. And then I woke up that way. Very strange.
Interesting.
Yeah. So he has to shake his whole body very violently. This usually wakes him up, but nothing actually happened to my physical body. No movement actually takes place. Yeah, I think I also did not actually rub my face on the pillow. I don't think that was real. Now the kicker is, if I go right back to sleep, I fall back into paralysis. Yep, you gotta switch positions, baby. I've had this happen 3 to 5 times in a row on numerous occasions. So I have learned when this happens, I have to get up and move around for a couple of minutes in order to get back to bed peacefully. Yeah, very similar. And it's interesting because the call to go back to sleep is so powerful, despite the fact that you just experienced sleep paralysis. It's like on one level, you're relieved to be out of it, and it was really panic-inducing. But as soon as you're out of it, your body's like, we can go right back to sleep. It's fine. And then you'll get sucked back into it.
Yeah, we're good. I'm sure we're fine.
Another pattern I have recognized is this happens a lot easier if I fall asleep in a car. In a year of sleeping normally in a bed, I've probably had 4 experiences or so in a year. But if I sleep in a car, it's probably 40 to 60% chance of paralysis. That's interesting. I remember one time in high school, grade 11. Oh, excuse me. On the way to hockey camp. Yes, I'm Canadian. Ooh.
Please start the submissions off with that, so we know if we could read them or not.
We could toss them in the bin.
Yeah, we have we asked Nancy to have a section for Canadian stories only.
Yeah, which is it's marked trash, and once again,
it's a little red leaf on it says trash.
It's just Nancy just not doing any of her jobs. So yes, I'm Canadian, unfortunately. I fell asleep in the back of a car and kept falling into sleep paralysis. And this was the time I actually realized the pattern of falling back asleep into it. I see no images of grays or creepy figures, but I do get full body paralysis and am fully awake with my thoughts. I've heard you can put yourself into a lucid dream through sleep paralysis. And in high school, around grade 10, I was really obsessed with lucid dreaming, thanks to the movie Inception. Yeah, I've heard this. People say that sleep paralysis or what feels like the onset of sleep paralysis, like some people can detect when it's about to start happening to them, is also the first stages of detaching, and entering the astral realm. But I've gotten to a place now where I just don't think that's a great idea for most people. Because when you leave your husk unattended, and if you don't have a homunculus that you're going to put in there and let it have sex with your wife, then you're leaving.
Yes, they do require some sustenance, the homunculus. But who told us that? I think that was Jules that just said that, right? People are creating.
Well, Jules mentioned it, but somebody submitted a testimony and was talking about regularly, detaching from their body and then having like this homunculus kind of like as a stand-in. Oh,
guard it.
No. That was our episode with Reality Czars.
Right. They'll be back on next week. So, guys, keep being fans. Yeah.
Love those guys. Yo, Thomas, Paranoid American, absolutely crushed the merch stand and just crushes the merch game. It was so cool to have him and Donut running that back there. What a surreal experience, man. Anywho.
Yeah.
Doodly doo. Okay, so I was really obsessed with lucid dreaming because of the movie Inception. I have never tried to do it since realizing the patterns. As I don't know how I feel about lucid dreaming, and when it happens, I'm always too afraid and just react to try to wake myself back up. Yeah, that's probably a reasonable move. I had one paranormal experience in grade 10 when I woke up in the middle of the night between 3 to 4 a.m. There you go. And my little Foamy that was under the mattress cover that I slept on was
This is like a Canadian term? What's that mean?
What's a Foamy?
I don't know. It's like everyone has a Foamy in Canada.
A little Foamy. I have like an additional mattress topper that's kind of like is that what you're talking about? Like a foam?
Like a mattress topper?
What is a Foamy? What the fuck is that? Here,
as a matter of fact, what's our promo code? Nephilim Death Squad. We actually have a My Pillow promo code that we never advertise.
Oh my God. Yeah, we have to I got to contact those people and do that.
Should we even do it, or is like 7C's going to make a chart about us?
100%. He will. I've told him because he was at the event. I'm like, please make charts about us.
Well, I mean, listen. He's gonna listen. There's a direct line between Mike Lindell and General Flynn, most likely, which sponsored. He sponsored Bohemian Grove, so all that shit that you saw there, like that's not possible
without General Flynn
and Q. So
and Q.
Shout out to those guys.
We are saving Israel for last.
Who's the real boomer now, Clint? Who's the real boomer? It's us.
It's the last sponsor.
Feeding our flesh again at Baby Boomerville.
Feeding my flesh again at Baby Boomerville. I don't know what a Foamy is. I just tried to Google it, and it's just going like coffee, frothy coffee. Is that what you want? So he says.
Question from the chat. Do you guys got the Hidden Guys on anytime soon?
Yeah, they were supposed to be on tomorrow, but wait, what's today? They were supposed to be on Friday, but I have a birthday to go to Friday, and then I have a wedding to attend on Saturday.
How do they get married? Is there like a blood sacrifice when they do it?
They're doing it again.
What do you mean?
So remember I went to a wedding and I held the thing. It was for my niece.
Yeah,
They're the Messianic. Well, I don't know. I guess they just weren't content with in their defense. What was a backyard wedding? Because they're just kids. So they're doing something again. It's a new wedding. So I'm gonna go.
Is there a well at the wedding?
Down the well, throw the down the well. You know how cool it was to explain to my mother what I had done over the weekend? I called her and I said, we did a song and throw the down the well.
Dude, I was humming it and my daughter goes, that's funny. And I was like, what's funny? And she goes, throw the down the well. I'm like, oh my God.
It is funny though, isn't it?
It's funny though, right?
Wrong. It's very funny.
So my people
my country can be free. So my country can be free.
It's two weddings, huh? It's like they have two souls, like that kind of thing.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. It could be that. Do have two souls, right?
Yeah, two souls.
Is it a wedding for each horn?
It's something. It's something about the shoes. The sneakers.
I don't know what it's for. I just know we're doing it again, and so I've got a nice suit and it's linen. It's gonna be outside. It's gonna be a nightmare. But yeah, we were supposed to have these guys on Friday. I had to reschedule because which sucked because I really wanted to hit the ground running this week and just crank out content, fill people's
we
content
had it.
holes.
I mean, Ed was supposed to be on today, but David's just busy.
I have to drop my mother-in-law off at the airport right after this show, and so that it's just none of it's gonna work. Throw the Jude. All right, so let's get back to this. Here we go. What did I do? I had my little Foamy that was under my mattress cover that I slept on, and it was falling onto the floor and knocking over my tower fan. Okay, I know what a tower fan is. Mm-hmm. Even though the mattress cover I was sleeping on was still on the bed, except for one corner of it, and I saw a little illuminated face disappear slowly, and I did not sleep for the rest of the night because I have no idea how that physically could have happened. Hope that explanation makes sense. I would love to know what the little illuminated face looks like, Joel Bear. That would have been a good one. That's interesting. A little illuminated face disappears slowly, and I didn't. That sounds like a good time.
You ever seen like the forest spirits in Princess Mononoke? It's like little white. You ever seen that?
Princess Mononoke.
Yeah, dude, it's a classic.
What is that?
Oh, it's a great movie. You should.
All right, well, pull it up. I'd like to see some images, and I'll address the chat here. JR says Foamy is a mattress pad. Okay, yeah, I have like one.
Is
of those
JR
too.
Canadian?
JR, are you Canadian? Do you know?
Get him out of the
chat.
You know? Kick him out of the chat.
MVP 1974 says, "Good morning, everybody. I can't chat, but I'm listening along at work. I am using my hands. Nice. Jerking off on the clock is a wild move, but
a very good.
Look at it. He just pulled himself off the screen. Isn't he?
These guys, the forest spirits.
Okay, little forest spirits. What is that, dude?
The forest
Princess
spirit
Mononoke.
Elf. Yeah, Princess Mononoke. Look at this. This is like a cryptid that's in this thing. There's like demonic possession. Dude, I gotta rewatch it. Maybe the people in the Discord will watch Princess Mononoke because they like to look at this.
We gotta watch a movie with them.
Yeah, this is a banger. It's like an anime. It's from Project Ghibli, Studio Ghibli. You know?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not coming up with the better pictures.
Stupid
but these
pictures, huh?
Here, look at this. Look at this one, right? Yeah, it's like a giant wolf, all kinds of but it's like it's a great movie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There was something that I wanted to rewatch now that I know some things, but I forgot what it was. I wanted to bring it up to you, and I totally forgot. Anyway, let's finish this story off, and then you can take the next one. I mean, we're going to have to pull the plug after this one to these poor people, but I hope this sheds some insight into sleep paralysis, and I'm looking forward to your thoughts and hilarious comments regarding me being a Canadian who wants to become the 51st state so I can finally move to America and get cheap land in Missouri, Georgia, West Virginia, or Florida. Florida's a place to be, baby. That would be my recommendation.
Land's not cheap, though. It's expensive because all you Canadians. I have some pity on you guys with the 51st state stuff, but like there's just far too many of them.
Yeah.
And you can't come. Sorry.
Ooh. By the way, MBP says, not sure about you. I need both hands. Double dick grabbing. Big dick on MVP. Congratulations, brother, on the big dick. He says, as of right now, June 14th, Clint is being a total gamma faggot.
Oh, wow. As of now, what day is it today? Oh, so 9 days ago. Yeah.
Not bad. Hey, we're getting better.
11 days.
11 days ago. And I wish all the success for Bohemian Grove, and I just wish that I was there, but my lady and I just got back from a month in Europe. Ooh, congratulations. And Raven's joke about Paris being Africa made me laugh so hard. I can't believe Top didn't give that banger of a joke the credit that it deserved. I don't even remember it. This is what we get for doing it 11 days later. But thanks for standing in line with Owen.
When did you say that? I don't even remember when you said that.
Paris being Africa. Oh, because there was some sort of conversation about that was somebody's potential vacation destination choice. It was like Paris or Africa, and I was like, this is the same thing.
Oh, it was the white woman that we were reading, right?
Oh, probably. We read a lot of white women on the show.
Yeah. She was a missionary, and she went to Paris and then Africa right after.
Oh, which is a redundancy. It's the same thing.
Right. Yeah. I didn't think it was a joke. I thought like when
it's just an observation.
It's just an observation. Yeah. Like, yeah. What's the joke?
It's a truism.
It's actually quite sad.
It is. But it was obviously part of a plot. And if you go back to that dude's artwork We've talked about that. We used to talk about that a lot. That one guy, he's like a ex-heroin addict, and he does all this really horrifying artwork of like black people killing white people.
What was his name?
And then all of a sudden, what happened?
What was his name?
I forget what his name was, but he was commissioned by like a Rothschild or something. And then they allowed him to put his gigantic painting of a star, right? The Star of David, Star of Remphan. I don't know, whichever way you want to go on that. And within it is all these black characters, these shadow people, and these white characters. And the guy, he's just a prolific artist who draws murder, black bodies murdering white bodies. And the white bodies are often in decadence, and the black bodies are often like, you know, in loincloths or whatever. And they're hacking the white bodies apart with machetes. That's what this dude does mostly. Then all of a sudden, 2019 or something like that, he's allowed to paint a gigantic mural right beneath the Eiffel Tower. So if you look down from the center of the Eiffel Tower, it's this massive mural. So this guy goes from relative obscurity and heroin addiction, all of a sudden being funded by some Rothschild or something like that, and then ends up putting his painting there. And then what ends up happening in Paris is exactly that. Black people, Somalians, whatever, with machetes hacking apart white people in the middle of the, like, that was all of that was planned. All of that was planned.
Yeah, I actually sent you, pull up this video I sent you because I know that Mike is going to be slow. But I think it's in the Twitter.
Oh, in the tweeter. Okay.
In the
I gotta
chat.
It's weird because sometimes I'll open Twitter and it's like, we're not going to open your DMs. And I'm like, you know, I do a show that's predicated entirely on DMs, you dumb kid.
Yeah, we don't give a f. It's going to. I'm also looking for the Laney. Laney made an entire edit about this guy. I don't even remember his name, but all of his artwork, it's like people need to see it so that they understand exactly what we're talking about because it's crazy. Oh, Cleon. Cleon is his name. Here it is.
Yeah, Cleon. Cleon what? 100% right. Artist Cleon. Type that in.
Cleon is a special artist. And the reason I say that he's special is because here is an aerial view inside the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, look at that. It's like it's creating the Star of David or some kind of like, obviously it's a triangle up and a triangle down, and it has these black figures, but Cleon,
and they're having sex, by the way, like they're intermingling with the white figures, like the race mixing.
Yeah, oh, that's a no. So,
but it's interesting because
in the center of it, but a mural painted by Cleon Peterson.
God, his voice is so annoying.
You have these
Here it
black entities and these white entities. As if the strangeness with Cleon doesn't go far enough, or I'm extremely proud to have the opportunity to work with Arian and Benjamin de Rothschild. Paris is known for its like.
Oh my God. My God.
Jesus, look at that visage. What the is
you know what? I don't want to watch any more of this, but I think you got the point that
no, let it roll. It's important. I want people to see the rest of this.
I want people to see my gay
Don't look at
hair.
me. Don't look at me. Please don't look at me.
Ritual, kind of like occulted secrets, right? I think that the Eiffel Tower serves a multitude of purposes, but one of them I suspect is this gigantic pylon. It's a conductor. You have the catacombs beneath Paris that are filled with skulls. We actually were speaking to Juan a couple of episodes ago, and he was talking about prophetic skulls and how people will have the severed heads of
that didn't go the direction. All right, so let's pull that off. But yeah, I mean, the idea that the Eiffel Tower is a gigantic pylon of a conductor of electricity, and then beneath it all is the dead bodies of like thousands of people. I think it's a big, you know, it's this thing like what do? You sandwich between them. Yep. This guy's artwork, you're like manifesting into reality what he is constantly painting. Manifestation. There we go. Slingshot.
And it's also the power of that symbol that's put beneath the thank you, Raven, for that. But the power of that symbol of the inverted triangle. Yeah, hold on.
We did it.
There we go. Andrew Tate. There's something about that, and when you put that underneath the Eiffel Tower, which is some sort of conductor, that, and I think the Statue of Liberty also is some sort of conductor.
Yeah,
you've got to wonder why. But here's another. I wasn't even really.
You want me to bring this up? I have it here. The Alex Jones clip. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Bring that up.
Okay, I'll do it just because I added it, but you have to do the thing, and I'll press.
Okay, here we go.
My internet.
Covering up Star of Remphan. No, it's the Seal of Solomon.
And it's even worse than all the idiots out there say it is. They just never get it right. It's the seal of Satan that seals the demons in. Now, it's a similar to it. Tex Mara's really smart. He says it may have been the Star Wars family. It doesn't matter. It's in the Bible and in the other ancient texts that it's the seal he came up with to seal the jinn in, that he was using to control things in black magic. And it's mysticism. So yes, the Star of David is not the Star of David. It is the seal of Solomon that seals Satan.
Banger.
Seals Satan, seals various entities, you know.
He gets it. And listen, if you watch Nephilim Death Squad, then you know that everything on InfoWars is just what we've done, but a year later. And that's all. I mean, you know, Alex, he's older. He's
watching the show.
He's watching the show. He's trying to keep up. It's a big backlog. Who could blame him?
Yeah,
you know,
he's a Patreon member, obviously, or else he wouldn't have access to this. You know?
Yeah. Shout out Alex. But no, he's right. And actually, this reminded me of that episode we did with that guy Citizen D, who somebody just like kind of found us, emailed us randomly. He's like, "Hey, I got a story to tell." And when I threw the seal of Solomon, all those, because it's not just one.
Those sigils, yeah, he had a bunch of sigils that he was using to, you know, control these demons. Which is like, if you think that that's not true, you can still see it today in all the ritual and ceremony of all these various, you know, branches of Satanism. They're using these symbols in enclosed circles or otherwise to summon and entrap these demons within it. They'll also use those symbols and they'll stand within them a circle of protection to protect them from things. So there's a, you know, a geometry associated with it, and then there's an enclosed circle that either contains or protects the individual that's inside or the entity that's inside. But yeah, it's the same Lesser Keys of Solomon, exactly.
Yeah, so in that episode, you can go back and watch it. It's called It Can't Be People. I think that's the name of it.
Yeah,
and
great episode.
Great episode. We should have him back on.
We should.
But he is a professional crop circle doer. I don't know what
a professional crop duster.
Yeah, crop. Well, no, that's Cole. This guy is an older British man who was doing crop circles for like years and years, and I guess he's coming forward. He wasn't even comfortable showing his face. But he's done these things, and I kind of did a little bit of prying, and I snuck a chart of some of the lesser keys of Solomon. Like some of these symbols.
Alex Jones wants us to mention the frogs, and he's
please,
not,
the frogs. We already know. Well, we had Elijah Schaefer on, so
that's right. Thank you for the support, though, Alex.
Yeah. So this guy was saying that basically sometimes he'll get downloads, and the downloads will just be like in his head, and they'll write it down, and that's what they'll put in the field. And I'm like, oh, do you remember any of the symbols that you ever done and things like that you've been influenced to do? He says, yeah, sure, mate. So I show him the picture, and I go, anything like this look familiar to you? And he's like, yeah, the one in the upper right. And I was like, oh, that's interesting, because that's like one of the keys of Solomon that he's writing to contain demons. So in order to contain a demon, you have to know its name, or you have to know its symbol, which is actually interesting when you have makes me think about Prince and how he changed his name to a symbol.
That's interesting.
Right.
He's probably possessed, by the way, right?
Well,
because they're all channeling
now.
You know what's interesting too? I wonder if we are looking at it. It's like you have the lesser keys of Solomon, but then you have the seal of Solomon. I wonder if, you know, because Alex Jones is like, that's what he used to contain Satan. It's like maybe.
Well, Satan is it's like, again, what we're saying.
I'm just saying, like, let's say you had the most, whatever that era, that time, that's fascinating. Whatever that time period's most influential, strongest entity was, right? That would be like the Satan of their time, because I think it's a moniker that gets passed.
Yeah, it's adversary.
Adversary, right? So that the adversary of that time, the one that becomes most associated and most famous may well have been his most powerful one.
Yeah, it might not be the Lucifer that you're thinking of like during the fall.
Could have been Azazel, could have been like one of the heavy hitters, you know what I mean? Like the heavy hitter of the time. The principality that ruled over his area, that might have been his, that was like the great achievement. You know what I mean? Like that seal right there. He's like, this is the one that fucks the hardest.
Jesus never names him. Like even when he's talking to Judas and he tells him, like, he basically lets him know, he's like, whatever you're going to do it fast. Right. And then Judas is like, what am I going to do? But he had something, and he's like, well, you know, what do you mean? And he was like, he has you now. He has you. He was like, who is he? Who is they?
And who is
like,
they?
Yeah, it's really non-specific, but it's like he has you now. So this adversary, this Satan, that's it. It's crazy. So yeah, I guess Alex Jones is right. It's just non-specific, and he's also talking to an audience of people that aren't as deep into this as what we said.
Get it, yeah. I mean, he does that, right? He dabbles in the interdimensional child molesters, you know, psychic vampires. But I think he has to pull it back to the political because he's speaking to a much broader audience, and he's built an empire off, you know, selling whatever emergency rations to boomers effectively, right? So
actually, that's an interesting development. We have the Liver King. This show, I don't even know what this show's about, but we've got the Liver King out there threatening to kill Joe Rogan. And yeah, it was
crazy. Did you
crazy.
see that? I was talking about that on Timeline Cleanse last night.
No, I didn't see you talking about it, but so he's got like one eye is dilated, the other one's not. He looks like a crazy homeless dude, but he's got a ton of money, which he could have blown through. But the interesting thing is that his mouth,
which is wild.
Yeah. So he's got to have money because he's still on the regimen. He's not just
$11,000 worth of performance enhancing drugs per month.
It's crazy. Yeah, but that's what it costs to be The Rock, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe more. So this dude, but the most interesting thing about all that is that his mouth is blue.
Yeah,
when he's doing it. Right. What?
I don't know. So apparently methylene it's not unrelated to meth. I didn't think it was.
Well, you don't say.
I know it's the root word, but I just didn't think that it really was, because it's like, is it RFK just doing meth? You know. So apparently, I suspected that he had an aneurysm because of his hefty steroid use. Turns out that he actually had a resistance band snap and clap him in the eye, and ever since then, he's had one pupil dilated over the other. But it's interesting because if you look at the symptoms of an aneurysm, that pupil discrepancy is one, along with a litany of neurological disorders, which I'm like, this tracks, you know? So I'm like, this guy does a lot of steroids, and then he has an aneurysm. Now he's suffering neurological disorders, and so he's drinking methylene blue for the cognitive function enhancement. But I don't know, methylene blue is a new hype that's literally just gene dye. Could well be. But I don't know what the fuck is going on with the Liver King. It's fascinating to watch.
Yeah, I got to pay a little more attention to it. But Alex Jones, again, this guy keeps popping. I wish we could, like, Alex Jones is somebody I wish we could just talk to. Alex Jones, Kurt Metzger, and Sam Hyde. Three people that I'd like to talk to that are like, they're all right there, right? But there's just no way to really talk to them.
No, we could talk to Metzger, I think. I just don't like pulling, what would you call it? Favors?
Yeah.
It feels, I'm like, if Kurt Metzger wants to come on our show, I want it to be because he likes us, not because we had to call in a favor. You know, so I don't know. One day. Let me finish this email, though, because we're right at the end here. He says, thanks for standing the line with Owen. Back in 2019, I went to see him live in Vancouver, and he had to do it in a Greek Orthodox church because the comedy club banned him in similar fashion. It's a blast to be part of a real culture war in a non-LARPy way. So much respect for you two beauties. Thank you. That was very nice. He says, cheers, Joel, a.k.a. Aquarian Bear, on the Beartarian Times app. Docs.
Very cool. Very cool. I don't have that app.
Thank you very much. I like that the Bears like us. I find them to be a respectable lot.
I spoke to quite a few of them. There was one older lady who Owen actually shared his... They write like snail mail to him. Very cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah. He sent me the picture, and she was like, he just wrote like an old school letter. You could see like the hand smudge on, and she was like, I love what they're doing, and I'm going to show up. And she showed up, and she was probably like, I don't know. She had full gray hair. She was an older woman, and she was like, thank you for what you're doing. And I was like, I don't feel like I'm doing much, but I was like, hey, it was just great. It was great that she was there and hanging out, and she had a good time. They had, like, you can tell at the end, like, she had a really good time. So I was like, that's freaking crazy. It's crazy.
I do want to say that the thing that I had hoped for Toad was that he could see that people love him and that this wasn't just some internet. And I was so wrapped up in that for Toad that I failed to realize, like, that is the dangerous as well. So as much as I was amped to see that for Toad, people coming up to us and like hugging us and shaking our hands, and it was like you could see, yeah, if this is a cultural movement, it's not a LARP, and it also is feeding people. It's feeding like their spirit in a weird way. You know, it's not this hollow political, and it's not just comedy. At the root of it, there's like something that's spiritually good, and I could really see that on display in the audience there with the people in real time. I thought that was fascinating. So I don't know.
Let's read Toad's tweet about it, and then we'll end it for the non-payers. I don't like to call them poors. Some of them have money. They have money, but they choose not to pay us, which is fine. But they should. I get it. But they should pay us because we'd. Now that Tower Gang is out, we're trying to figure out how to pay Laney more. So we're gonna need some extra shekels because Laney cannot take a pay cut, and neither can we. But that's fine.
It turns out that we're not satisfied with my humiliation ritual, and so we were promised a lot of money after I oiled my body up and got rubbed by Toad and shamed myself on stage, and they reneged. They reneged on the deal, and so I thought we were going to be balling out of control, raining shekels, and not the case. Not the case at all. So all right, let's read Toad's thing.
All right. What Toad said.
Oh no, TopLobsta is becoming ChopLobsta. He's getting all choppy and sloppy over here. I don't know what's going on, Top, but everything is frozen and your voice sounds stupid, very stupid. Can you hear me?
I can see.
Are you with us?
I can hear you. I'm with you, but I'm waiting. Let me know.
It looks like you've had a stroke. It's funny. The way that it's paused on your face, you have one eye closed.
Okay, we're at.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that we're in.
No.
How about this? How about, that sucks. Okay, there we go. There's Top. He's touching his chin, but we don't have his presentation. It's not up. There it is. Okay, great. It looks like you've regulated. So
how
go
about
ahead.
Am I good? I could see
now,
all episode. It's been giving me like bad internet, and I was like, yeah, I know I have bad internet. But it's fine.
It's doing very good things, Top. It's doing. Wait. I think we're good now. I think we're good. I see you stress fiddling with your your fidget thing, Robot Top. Yes.
Okay, let's try to read it. How am I sounding?
You're sounding a little bit, but I feel good about it. I feel like it's really gonna zero in.
So Toad says, I've been a fan of Owen Benjamin, just glaze Owen Benjamin a little bit for a decade, and never in my life did I expect to share.
I'm sorry, Top. You just sound terrible. Why don't you refresh and come back in, and I'll just I'll make some noise for these people in the meantime because it's bad. It's very bad.
I'm gonna send you the link to this, so that way you can pull it up on your own, and then you could read it or something like that.
Wait, now you sound nice.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna have to send you the link. So go ahead and pull that up and read it, and I'll be back.
You're probably gonna have to pull it up because you do this media presentation. You've gotten all fancy with it. And here, share screen. No, don't show them the edges of my backdrop. Oh no, you're showing them the edges of my backdrop. I don't like it.
I hope we're. Here we go. I've never been a fan of Owen Benjamin I've been a fan for a decade, and never in my life.
I've never been a fan of Owen Benjamin.
This was definitely a wild, unforgettable moment, and I'm glad I came down to Bohemian Grove to do it. Thank you, TopLobsta, David, and the Joke Joint for putting it together. Shout out to Tyler for showing all of the grace the stage and all the fans who came out, who came for it. We need moments like this where we can be in a room full of like-minded people who oppose cancel culture and know it's not only perfectly all right, but healthy to laugh at the most wildly offensive things and not take life so seriously. Hopefully events like this also serve as a showcase for outsiders as well, moving the cultural needle back in the direction of humor, fun, and sanity for as many people as possible. And it's just a picture of him. Well said, Toad. It's exactly what we've been talking about, and it's exactly what I told Toad when he said he didn't want to come. And I said, just trust me one more time, you stupid, and show up, because I think you're going to like what we do. And he did.
I needed him to see that, man. I thought it was really important. I needed him to, my favorite moments were so Toad-centric. There was a couple of really great moments, like when we broke the news to Cashman that we bombed Iran, and then we had the Trump impersonator come on. That was really, really unbelievable. Of course, for me, doing a live NDS with our first ever guest appearance of Sam Tripoli, and getting to do that on stage, and then doing what I thought was a complete banger of an episode with him, that was great. But when the crowd was chanting Toad, 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 and when Toad did throw to the down the well, and then of course, Baby Boomerville by Owen, there was so many incredible moments. Incredible moments. And I'm glad that Toad came out, and I'm glad that he realized how integral he is to what we were doing there. He wasn't just background fluff. He was, that poster said it all, man. That big toad in the center of the poster for Bohemian Grove, he was in very many ways the centerpiece.
It's not, it was not like a gimme, like, oh, show up and here you go, here's some stage time. I was like, nah, dude, like, I don't know what he's gonna do, but it's just like, yo, I know everybody knew that this guy has it, whatever it is that I'm talking about. So it's like, it's not a gimme. It's like, you earned that. Now go and do what you're supposed to do, and he did. Incredible.
Let's see. I want to read this real quick. This is Eamon Ratty says, Shields, Tripoli, Benjamin, Cashman, Schaefer, while the bombs dropped on Iran was incredible. There will never be another moment like it. Yeah, because we're in peacetime now, right?
That's what I was saying. Yeah, I tweeted that, and it's like, it's an insult to, because I tweeted that, and then that day, Louis J. Gomez is like, Skankfest just sold out like 3,000 tickets in New Orleans. It's the biggest one we've ever done. And I said, nobody doing comedy can with what just happened at Bohemian Grove. And I still mean it. I don't care people there, but yeah, that right there doesn't happen at Skankfest. Skankfest is funny, but whatever that was is like something different.
Dude, the idea that we had that Trump impersonator on deck to read Trump's tweet was incredible. It was incredible. I don't understand how it happened. It was God. It wasn't us. And I don't know. I might go, what? God wanted that to happen? I don't know, dude, because we ended up accidentally doing on the summer solstice while the elites are doing a murder ritual on the summer solstice of Iran. And the whole thing was so electric, and it so transcended what we expected to pull off, that I'm like, it wasn't us, man. Something else came together there that was outside of us. But all right, let's
there was a time where Owen, he had messaged me, like, he was like, look at this, I just did like this prep for the show tomorrow, and the stream went 4 hours, 44 minutes, and 44 seconds. How crazy is that? And I was nervous about day 2, because day 1 had went okay, but I wanted it didn't go exactly how I wanted. And I'm like, day 2, like, he sent me that, and I was like, tomorrow's gonna, and I just didn't even worry about it, because like, that's the number that's been following me around my entire life. That number, the number 4, and I was like, okay, it's crazy. Numerology, wherever our friend is in the chat with numerology.
Rebel for Truth, shout out Rebel for Truth. We did a bunch. It was numerology stuff. We didn't do it on purpose, but it happened.
Yeah, exactly. I don't do it, but I do notice. I'm a good noticer. But all right, we have to get out of here, because these people have gotten.
Danny Moonski says, what's the story with walking a black? Very simple. The black dude walked in. It started with Elijah Schaefer and basically what felt like a race rally, and he was out instantly. Dude just turned around. He had a smile on his face, but he was shaking his head, looking at the ground as he walked out of the building.
It's also like, to get them to walk or do any kind of exercise is a miracle in itself, unless it's bad. I gave him a basketball and he dribbled out of there. But all right, guys.
I think it was so inspiring. He realized he had forgotten the milk and he went back to the corner store. Now,
that's right. Yeah, they go back to his kid's house. We'll see you later. Join the Patreon if you want to keep watching. Goodbye.
Disgusting.
All right.
It's funny. As soon as they're gone, I feel cleaner.
Yeah. They're almost gone. They're almost gone. We're just getting rid of them one by one.
Goodbye, pores.
Goodbye, like Alex's song. Okay.
Goodbye. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Goodbye.
Okay. What story are we reading next? I think we have time for one more before you have to leave. Very rude.
I'm still making good time, but it's 11:11. Make a wish or something like that. Let's do Kate, Anti-Species. You want to do that?
Yeah, I like Kate.
She's probably still in the chat. Lives in Alaska. Terrible. All right, you do this one.
Okay. Kate says, if this is too long, it's long. Maybe Nancy can pre-read it. Ha! Everybody throw your head back and laugh. Ha 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 ha.
Nancy, labor, Nancy. Unbelievable.
Read something? Yeah, okay. It's all right if y'all don't want to read it. All right, Kate, don't be like that.
Come on, Kate. We're reading it. Stop that.
Part 2. I forgot one of the happenings in my childhood in the first story. It's good because we don't remember.
Yeah.
So let's read.
No, it's just true. I can't remember all of them, right?
All right. Anywhere from 8 years old to 14 years old, I would wake up.
Oh, wait. Can we do this, Top?
What
now that we are doing just the Patreon members, should we add their comments to the stage?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
That'd be a nice little benefit for them, right? Now you guys can see your comments on the screen when you start commenting.
That's not a bad idea.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Actually, do you have to pee?
No, I don't have to pee. Actually, I've gotten better. I pissed like twice in the entirety of Bohemian Grove.
That's not healthy.
I did poop once.
I peed a couple of times. All right, Kate. Anywhere from 8 to 14 years old, I would wake up, or my body would get up in the middle of the night, and I would go to my sister's room only. Never my brother's, never my parents'. And I would just stand over her bed and stare at her angrily in the dark.
What the
From 8 to 14? That's
a long time to do that.
From that, when I was that age, I used to suck my cousin's dick. No, I did not do that.
If you cut it off at 11, you'd have been all right.
Yeah. Once you get past 13, it's getting weird. That's crazy. I don't remember any of it other than waking up over her and then going back to my bed, kind of confused. But I would always stand over her angrily at the very head of her bed and just stare at her, glaring. She would hide under the covers, and she told me she could hear me breathing heavily. It's interesting to note also that of all my family members, my sister is definitely the most pure-hearted, innocent soul in that house at the time. She is the youngest and just a really good soul. She's what you would picture when you think of an innocent child.
Interesting.
Yeah, this was long before the Paranormal Activity came out, and when I saw that in my previews, my sister and I were like, "Hey, that happened with us." What does that mean?
Wait. Where does that? Oh,
in my previews.
Yeah, so that was happening in Paranormal Activity. Yeah, those films.
Oh.
So they would basically one of the characters would wake up and stand at the foot of the bed. Man, they really just do be showing you in these movies, huh?
Yeah, they know. They be knowing. Damn, that's crazy. I have no idea if I was possessed or under the influence of something dark, but it was super weird, and I was definitely a really troubled kid. Since age 2, strangers would come up to my parents, even when I was behaving well, and tell them that I was going to be a really hard kid.
That's weird. What the hell would ever possess a stranger to? I've seen some kids, man. I'll be in Walmart just watching some kid throw a tantrum. I've never felt compelled to go up and be like, "Hey, it's gonna be rough, dude."
Yeah,
it's
dude.
Be rough.
Like this one, filled with demons.
This one's got a head full of demons. You can tell because it's pushing against the back of his eyes, and one of them is wandering.
Jeez, that is rough. All right, part 3. Funny sleepwalking. Oh, this is not. Yeah. Kate is a sleepwalker that busted her nose, right?
That's
in the
right.
hotel.
Yeah. I wonder if she still sleepwalks.
Well, we'll find out. Part 3. Apparently, this is funny. On one of the Patreon episodes where they bring up Utah schools, WWASPs. Yeah, which episode was that?
Yeah, so we were talking about those school. I forgot who we were talking about it with, but it was the same concept that Cash Me Outside girl went to. She got sent to that school, and a lot of abuse happens there, and it seems to be there's a real paranormal overlap. They're trafficking children, abusing them, all kinds of weird.
Right.
Yeah, it's a brainwashing kind of a situation.
So she made a comment that she went to one of those schools for 16 months. That's a completely different story, riddled with mental torture, cult brainwashing, trauma-based mind control, and emotional sexual abuse. Whoa.
God. That's a story that I would be interested in hearing when you go, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. Maybe you should be on the documentary.
Ooh. Would you be interested in that?
Kate. Alaska's far, though.
Alaska's far. Why would you be in Alaska, Kate?
To get away from the demons. They probably don't like the cold.
I bet you they do. I bet you she's probably closer to some over there.
Got all the down in Palm Beach.
Well, it's been rough.
Well, it's been rough. So a really short example of how horrible that school was is the leader of the school would go over the would over the years make certain girls get on all fours and bark like a dog until they were sobbing. Then he would yell at them, "This is why you got raped. You're practically asking for it." Hold on. Wait, I have something.
Based.
Is that Dave Portnoy?
What are you, Dave Portnoy? That is crazy, dude. The ages ranged from 12 to 17 years old. Wow. My parents were the only local parents to that school, so they did not mess with me as much, especially since I quickly learned to submit and comply. So
every time you sign off with that, Kate just like shudders.
Yeah, she's like, okay. She gets on all fours and starts barking. I'm so sorry, Kate.
Starts barking until she sobs. Oh no! Oh no!
So she would submit, and I'm gonna revamp that clothing line because I do think that there's something powerful about it. Like, even though I'm telling them to do that, I hope that they get not to. Everything that we've done at like this entire last weekend was not obeying, not submitting, not complying.
By the way, Schizo friend was there. Sick as feel like I have COVID, doesn't feel natural. Austin was there. Austin is sick as well.
Yeah. Weak. I mean, just weak people is what
it's the weak people. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm fine.
I've been sick for like a month, but I'm very strong and resilient, and
I feel better than ever, dude.
Well, that's cool.
I gave them whatever bullshit was bothering me.
you it all over these.
Yeah. No, actually, no vaccinated were allowed. We were checking cards at the door. If you had one.
We were just taking magnets to people's arms.
Yeah, there was just a huge magnet. We're like, if it's stuck, you gotta leave.
Turned you around.
Actually, I want to show this picture really quick because it's cool.
Turns out the only people who got turned away at the door for magnets on their arms were fans of Liberty Lockdown.
Holy banger! This is actually the sign at the door.
Dude, that almost bummed me out until I realized how hilarious it was.
Yeah, I was like, we should have made a banner for it, and then I was like, this is better.
This is so funny.
Yeah. Bohemian Grove,
confessional here had a glory hole too, by the way, which is very funny.
It did. It was necessary. It smelled in there.
Yo, it did smell in there. What was that about?
It was the like that Mylar lining that they had. It was supposed to be like a soundproofing lining, but it smelled because it's like it just has that weird
smelled
plastic.
Like piss.
Yeah. Well, all right, so let's keep reading. So
anywho,
she would obey, submit, and comply to anything that they said, so that she wasn't tortured, and they would let her talk to her mother and father, which they withheld if you did anything wrong, such as acknowledging the existence of a girl on silence or looked out the window at a tree. Whoa. So they would put the girls on silence? That's what I wish I could put my wife on silence. How do
they do that?
Wow.
Or looking out the window at a tree. That's crazy. I remember when I was in jail, they painted the windows, which is so up. And but my window in my cell had like a little bit of paint scratched off. The paint was on the outside, so I couldn't scratch it off. But it had been just worn over time, and I was able to look through it and see the sky. And I remember one time a bug crawled across that right there, and I was like really cherishing that moment of looking at that bug through that little bit of paint scratched off on the window.
Wow.
So yeah, looking at a tree, that's interesting.
Why would they do that? Why can't you look at the sky? It's like
because they hate you. They hate you, and it's not enough to lock you in a cage, because I was on like 23-hour lockdown and out of that little room for 1 hour. But they also, they paint the windows, and it's such a psychological. It was never about the people. You think jail is about the people, the gang members and all the blacks and everything, and it's like blacks. There's actually, that was redundant, I know, but it's actually the people are kind of wonderful. You really begin to appreciate them, especially when they're it's the fact that you can't leave. I wasn't in there for long. I was in there for 1 week, but it's the fact that you can't leave. That's insane. That was county jail. Apparently county is much worse than prison. prison, you have a lot more freedom. You're in there for a long haul. But county, they'll psychologically torment you. They'll keep you in 23. I was only supposed to be in 23-hour lock. Well, no. 23-hour lockdown for 6 days or something like that, which was too long. That wasn't supposed to happen. And then I spent 1 day in general population, which was like awesome. It was awesome to see big black people and to get to talk to them. And and then when I went to the judge was like, "Oh, you were in there longer than you should have been in there." I was like, "You asshole." I went in on a Friday. I was supposed to see the judge on Monday. They don't do anything on the weekends, and then they just lost me for about a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Very.
That's rough, dude. But yeah, this sounds like she was in jail.
Yeah.
And you weren't allowed to look at the trees.
Crazy.
Wow. I like Kate. She should be in our documentary.
Kate's the.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, you know what's really funny? By the way, I want to say one more thing. There are a few people that we're looking at, like potentially employing, right? Lainey is obviously one of them. Nancy, she's another one I would love to put on payroll one day. And then the third one is a guy that hit us up to email us about this like monotonous job. And he's really cool. I really like him based off the email. He seems like a great dude for the job. They're all Asian.
Oh yeah. What are we doing? Weird, a sweatshop here or something like that?
I kind of like that. Should we only hire Asian people?
Would be cool. To be honest, I'm not even sure Nancy is Asian. I'd have to check her blood type.
Ooh, don't get into the blood type conversation. Well, it's fine.
We're in the restaurant with her. We're in the restaurant and everyone's having a good time and eating. I'm just like sweating. And Nancy just looks at me and she goes, "Hey, Top, what's your blood type?" And I was like, "Don't you talk to me like that."
What do you want?
And everybody stops. Like all the conversation stops. It's like, imagine just like chatter in the room, right? Like chatter, communal chatter. She asks and everyone flatlines.
Huh?
What? What'd she say? I was like, what are you talking?
Nancy, all you do is submit murder videos. And now you want to know a blood type? It's like you only have two interests. It's murder and blood type?
I love it though. It's so weird. I was about to tell her too. If I would have known, I would have told you. But I don't know.
I also don't know my blood type at all.
Yeah, I was like, you're going to have to find out. And I put my hands up. Let's go.
She pulled out a gun.
You're going to have to take it. You're going to have to take it. Nancy. All right. Anyway.
Very strange.
Let's keep reading. Not sure if she's Asian either. Anyway, it's safe to say I was highly stressed in that school. #prison. And the night terror where I ran into the door and broke my nose was just a month after getting out of that hellhole. That actually makes that story make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trauma, like recent trauma involved with this.
I'm seeing some fun stuff in this email, dog.
She's saying Nancy could smell your blood type. That's what Scott's saying. Scott, we're kind of upset you didn't come, man.
Dude, really upset. And I know it was your choice not to come, and I know that you didn't want to come, and that really makes it sting.
Yeah, it makes it worse. It's like you chose your other friends over us.
I'm going to tell you the truth, Scott. You were one of the people that I was looking most forward to seeing.
Yeah. Yes.
And then not the case.
Yeah. It's okay.
Really let us down. I don't think it's okay, but all right.
No, it's fine. We're going to be fine. All right. Keep reading, Kate. So, while I was in that school, it was completely locked down and you could not get out of your bed at night, even to pee. Whoa. Without asking. Okay.
I'm pissing that bed, baby.
Yeah, you're going to piss in that bed like Cole. That episode will be released pretty soon. That was a great story.
Oh, it was so funny, dude. So funny.
Yeah. Should we bring up the idea of what we'd like to do? Well, we'll think.
Now let's hold it off. I want to see. I want to let the boys make a decision, do what they got to do, and then we'll release it.
Okay.
Later.
Many girls would pee themselves because the staff wouldn't let them get up, or they wouldn't be around to ask, and we would be absolutely terrified of being tackled and restrained by fat lesbians for getting up without permission. One of the reasons why I won't let my kids go to school.
Fat lesbians, yeah.
Fat lesbian teachers. No, I've seen it a couple of times where like the kid's either too scared or the teacher tells them you can't go to the bathroom, and I've seen the kids piss on themselves.
That's not cool.
And I'm like, if you did that to my kid, do you understand what I would be doing to you? I would be in that school with a gun in your mouth. Like,
not just your ass.
Dude, yeah. I mean, I would put the gun through your teeth. That's how quickly it would be in your mouth. Your teeth would be broken. And then I can't make any assurances on if I would pull the trigger or not. but they do this all the time, and it's very demeaning.
Yeah.
All right, so I was on the top bunk, and I would be sleeping, and then all of a sudden I'd wake up and see thousands of spiders crawling all over my bed, and huge spiders coming down from the ceiling at me. Freaking out, I jump over the railing of my top bunk and land on the ground like Spider-Man. Crouch with my hands out and whisper, spiders, spiders.
Spiders.
What the is going on in this place?
So my mom, my grandmother was, she was an abductee victim for her entire life, and I really think it did a number on her. We lost her really early. And my mother, she has these instances where she'll hear the pitter patter of small feet. She'll see little shadow people. She'll even see the doorknobs jiggle and shit like that. And to the extent that my stepdad will also hear it, and they'll both like look over like, what the and then there's nobody in the house. That and spiders, shadow spiders. Turns out, and big ones. Turns out that shadow spiders are actually very common archetype within the shadow entity catalog, if you will. What would you call it? Like there's a terminology for like books about creatures, but yeah, shadow spiders are definitely one of them. So it's interesting that that seemed to be a recurring thing.
Well, man, in the Dark Tower series, I forget the name of this creature, but one of the main bad guys, or the Dark King, which is the guy that's guarding the tower, he impregnates one of Stephen King's quartet, which is like his three main people. It's a legless woman named Susanna. She's a black woman. He impregnates her, and the baby comes out born as a spider. The baby has like an M name, like Morton or something like that. And it's one of the most crazy scenes of when she's like raped by some entity. It's like Nephilim. She's raped by an entity, and like it's an immaculate conception, sort of. And when the baby comes out, the baby is born, and he describes it as having like a full erection as it's coming out of her.
Oh no,
dude! But
dude,
it's a
Stephen
spite.
King is throw that in a volcano.
Throw him down the well.
throw Stephen King down the well. Hold on a second. I gotta tell my wife to get these cats out of here. Can you get cats out? Cats
Please.
out of here.
Yeah.
Cats out. Not cars. Autocorrect is so stupid.
Imagine she's like, I'm gonna ignore it because there's no cars in there, and I know for sure. Anyway, that same dude, I think his name is Morton, but he's like a spider, and he's like the son of
Archetype.
A Jesus.
No, it wasn't archetype. I'm sorry. I do want to get this. It's like a bestiary, sort of. But there's a word for like a catalog of creatures. But go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the spider is definitely one of the top ones that you'd associate with these kind of. I think it's why we have like a natural fear to snakes and spiders. They're associated in some sort of way with this. But yeah, that Stephen King thing, he absolutely nails that archetype of like Hermes and like being the son of this like weird immaculate conception, son of the devil. It's like a Nephilim story. It's a story of Jesus, but inverted, and it's very crazy, very crazy.
Yeah.
Spiders. All right.
Spiders.
The spiders are everywhere.
I would love that. Like she hits the ground and she goes, spiders.
And she's crawling. Dude.
Like Spider-Man.
Maybe we should do the interview with her, but we'll do it remote rather than.
That'd be cool. Yeah. I would
with
like to do
her.
that. If she's interested in it.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to meet you in person.
I'd love to meet Kate. We'd have a schizo from Alaska. Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, but when you're sleeping and someone's just like.
Yeah, Stephen King knows about the turtle as well, which is interesting because that's one of the forms that it takes, is like this turtle with light emanating from it.
From the Dark Tower, the turtle is like the entire existence of the tower is the center of everything, and it has these bands that hold all these multiverses together. Yeah, the realms together.
That's the same thing as Norse mythology. It's all like on the back of a great turtle.
Exactly. It's on the back of a great turtle that's kind of like floating through wherever. That's what, and he describes that. So he nails all the mythologies. I need to reread the book. That would be a great book to read with like Jay Dyer. I'm sure he's probably already done it.
I cannot read, but go on.
I literally cannot.
It's so much.
So I would run out into the hall where the night staff were sitting and watching our doors for escape. And I would tell them that there were spiders all over the room. They needed to help us. They'd come in with their flashlights, and of course, there's no spiders.
No spiders.
I became known as Spider Girl.
Very cool.
And yeah, that is pretty cool. And the night staff thought it was pretty funny. Thankfully, I was never tackled, but the first couple of times it happened, they definitely thought I was trying to pull one over. Spiders. Yeah, it's like fucking Spider Girls up. Another time I sat straight up in my bed and turned stiffly with my arm and hand out in the stop position, and I looked at my roommate Carly and said in an echoey, sad voice, "Hello, hello," like I was speaking through a thick veil.
That's fascinating.
Dude.
Yo, Kate is like real quality schizo.
Yeah. I didn't know that you were this level schizo. And she's very humble. She's like, I don't know if this is schizophrenic enough for you, but and now as we're reading, we're like, damn, son.
I'll tell you what though, she's vegan, and I would say you experience enough trauma, and the last thing you want to do is kill animals.
Yeah,
right?
I guess.
Yeah. So that tracks for me.
Yeah. How about spiders? Would you eat spiders?
Would you eat a spider? Crunchy.
Sam, I am. So we absolutely weren't allowed to communicate, even non-verbally, after lights out. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
You're not allowed to meet up on the hill?
What are you saying by that? What do you mean?
Probably like hand signals and eye contact.
Damn. So she was like, what the don't talk to me. We'll get in trouble.
Oh.
There's a ton of little weird stories like this, but not really Chronicles material, like the laughing tree demon while camping with Paul. How is that not Chronicles material? How are you telling us what is not Chronicles material?
We'll tell
Kate?
you what's Chronicles. You tell us, and we'll tell you if you wasted our time.
Oh, maybe Nancy will tell you at some point.
Yeah, if she did her job.
Part 4.
Part 4.
Boom, boom. I'm not sure if I mentioned in my first story that I would see foot indentations coming toward my bed at night, and then my bed would violently,
she got dinged by autocorrect.
Yeah, autocorrect. Violently shake, and I would just kind of go to sleep, or that there were super creepy long dead fingers that curled around the door, which was cracked in that same room. Oh,
no,
very cool.
What the fuck, Kate? You didn't tell us that. I'm not sure if I mentioned the demons.
Yeah, I'm not sure if honestly, Kate, I don't know if this is Chronicles material what you're writing right now.
Yeah, seriously, it sounds like maybe better suited for something else, like some maybe comedy.
Actually, should I play the video that Lainey sent me? It's very spooky.
Which one?
It's just a video. Like he's working on something. And he was like, "Hey, look at this video. It's super spooky." And I watched it. And I was like, "You, dude. Here, let's play it."
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, well, here it is. He's gonna use it for a clip for something, but let's play it because it is really crazy.
Where their mental capacity is largely occupied by a powerful focus on the departed. Occultists and spiritualists, Tibetan monks to theosophists, have exercised the creation of one. Forms have been formed to serve as familiars, companions, or even friends.
Look at this thing.
No,
he's like, nah, dude.
Manipulating electronics, or even speaking words and short phrases. Due to their striking similarities.
This number, you need to get out of there and return to your house immediately. I'm sending your information.
Wait a second.
This reminded me. Look at this.
That's exactly it. You know where that comes from.
God damn it, Lainey.
Let me tell you something. Did Lainey make that?
I don't know, but Lainey just messages me. This is what he says. He goes, this is all muted in the short because he's going to put it in a short. And he goes, I just made it, but I figured you may like it. And then he goes, warning, spooky. And I watched it and I was like, F you, dude. Like, I don't
Lainey, we just found another talent.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's, we're going to transition Lainey. Lainey's going to be a lot of transitions for Lainey.
A lot of transitions.
Male to female, back from male to murder. And now we're going to transition Lainey away from the Nancy role because we already have murder. We're going to transition him to spooky, but that's
that's a lane and a half for Lainey.
Where did you even find this? I said, where did you find this? Cause I hate it. And he was like, oh, I won't put it. And I was like, no, put it, but I hate it.
Put it. Yeah. I hate it. But like, that is a talent that needs to be honed in on. Lainey's onto something there. So that's all from the thought form episode that we did with Jules of the Great Pill podcast the other day. And, it was a really fascinating conversation. It really tracked for me. It made a lot of sense. And that was crazy.
That's what he's going to put it to. And I'm like, that's perfect. And it's exactly a minute. And are cool because like, Laney has the style of like, usually people transition into like the videos, but he'll just put it right at the top as we're talking and then maybe switch it around sometimes. But I think it gives it a unique, no, it's perfect. It's not the same that you could see that's like everyone else is doing.
What a talent. We're really, really blessed to be attracting talented people, talented Asians.
Yeah. For sure. All right, let's keep on reading. So the curled fingers is what she's talking about.
Curled fingers.
So, but in the same room, I would play with this mic recording toy that my sister and I got because we love the show American Idol. Carrie Underwood era. Very. And one of the times we were asking nearby spirits if anyone was there to make themselves known. Why were you doing that?
Don't do that. Well, I mean, think of it. She had a whole spooky life. They were making her bark like a dog until she sobbed. Or at least her friends were barking like dogs till they sobbed.
Yeah. So you're just watching American Idol, talking to spirits. And then we would record and wait. And this thing was not the best recorder. It was made in China, crappy, by a tiny little, like, and made tiny like a finger. So it's like a little microphone. It wouldn't pick up things unless directly spoken into it. Okay, I know the type that it's like a shitty karaoke machine. So one of the times when we played it back, I swear, and my sister would confirm, the spirit literally said Bob in this ghostly voice this ghostly faraway voice, like Bob. And we were like, holy crap. And that was the end of that. Okay. Jesus. At a different house that a drug addict owned after getting a bunch of money, which he blew on blowing hookers, obviously, I had that same recorder and I had it in my bed and I fell asleep with it in the room. And to record something, you have to hold down the button. So I was asleep and the recorder was in or around my bed. I can't remember. And when I woke up, I pressed play to see if what I had last said or sung into it, just to see what it was. And I you not, it was straight up heavenly ethereal music, the most beautiful music I've ever heard. I have no idea to this day how that happened.
Damn, dude. Yo.
That is cool.
We got to figure out how to hire Kate just to have her stand around.
Just stand around and be spooky, Kate. Yeah. Kate, run into that wall.
Go run into that wall. Get on all fours. Bark like a dog. Oh my God, dude.
How dare you, David?
Oh my God.
You just crossed the line. That's messed up.
Very cool. Oh.
Yeah, this is she sounds like the stories that she has are the same stories that my cousin had in that house, the one you spoke to here.
Wait a second.
What? What happened?
Oh, we got to read Tom's story. Okay, we're going to read Tom's story next. It's just Tom writes he's a man of scripture, so he writes a Bible, and we have to, you got to dedicate like a whole episode to it. And I knew we were going to end up talking about
Here's
a bunch
why
of
we
shit
haven't
for
read
the first
Tom's story. We looked at it again today, and it said Thomas, and I was like, Thomas, yeah, Tom Sorotnik, and then it says part 3, and then it says 9 pages.
And I think it said 11 pages.
11, yeah, and David goes, I simply can't do that today.
Oh, no, it is 9 pages. Okay, yeah, so we can't do it today because, think about it, guys. We didn't even get into reading any stories until the 40-minute mark. So
what are you doing tomorrow? Thursday.
Tomorrow is Thursday. I don't think I have going on tomorrow. I want to say I don't have going on tomorrow.
Me neither. We had a Dangerous, but not anymore. So maybe tomorrow. Let's make a promise to Tom. We'll read it tomorrow.
A promise to Thomas. We'll do it tomorrow, Thomas. It's a promise.
Probably. We'll see. All right, let's finish the story because I know you gotta, and this is more pages left. Damn, Kate, got a lot going on. All right.
I mean, I'm still on good time, but yeah, let's do this.
All right. I have no idea to this day how that happened. So many random short things, but that's how it all happened. One last weird thing is maybe around age 11, I was driving with my dad at night and we were in the cornfield area of Nebraska, which I guess is all of Nebraska.
Right.
And we were driving home. We were crossing over a bridge portal area. Oh, good observation. And we both at the same time saw the most massive dinosaur-looking pterodactyl bird perched on the post of the bridge.
That's a cryptid, dog.
Yeah, people see that. That's like the Thunderbird, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Hold on. You got it's such a stupid pterodactyl. How do you even pronounce that?
Pterodactyl. Like the P is silent.
Of Nebraska.
Oh, shit.
Cryptid. Let me see real quick. The term Pterodactyl of Nebraska likely refers to the Walgren Lake monster, a cryptid popularized in the early 20th century, though not explicitly a pterodactyl. The legend involves a large, shadowy creature, sometimes described as having a long neck, spotted near Hay Springs, Nebraska. Large winged creature potentially mistaken for pterodactyls. Yeah, well, of course, that's what Grok's going to say, but Grok is... some individuals are seeing a large winged creature in Nebraska that they believe to be a pterodactyl, Walgren Lake, yada yada. The cryptid associated with Hay Springs is most likely a candidate for this moniker. Interesting. So this is, I mean, there is precedent. I've heard that a lot. What do we do? Let's get rid of Nebraska and just do pterodactyl cryptid. And what do we get from that? Petrosaurus. I saw a pterodactyl today in cryptids from 3 years ago. Let's give that a quick look over. Maybe Tennessee River. The Tennessee River. How far is Tennessee from Nebraska? I'm not good at geography.
It's pretty far.
Okay.
Yeah, not even close.
Not even close. Or Indiana. Indiana. Interesting. Sightings in Indiana. How far is Indiana from Nebraska? I don't know.
A little closer. I mean, it's probably halfway between Tennessee, but also this thing could fly.
Illinois.
Yeah.
Illinois. Interesting. So this is a thing. I mean, that pops up in cryptids a lot.
She says we were going maybe 30 miles an hour and didn't turn around. I wish we had. We both looked at each other and were like, "Did you see that?" Like, yeah, it was crazy.
I believe
Jeez.
it. I believe Kate.
Yeah. Part 5. Sad. Loss of a soulmate. Oh my God.
Oh, all right, no, I hope this didn't happen to you, Kate.
In my first story, I mentioned hearing a dark ha sound from a dead tree in the Navajo Reservation Desert in southern Utah, Arizona border.
God,
Kia Bob,
cool.
I believe. Yeah, she's everywhere. The boyfriend I was with, Paul, was a very special person in my life. I don't think I'll ever connect with someone as deeply as I did with him. We weren't even sexual, like most 20-something couples would be. Our love was wholesome, and most of the time we spent hiking, playing with cats, chilling around campfire, and him playing guitar.
Damn, that's nice.
We were connected on a deep level that I can't really explain. It was just this knowing and understanding. As young in-love hippies, we would go camping under the deserts and stars in his truck bed and wake up surrounded by a herd of docile cattle. We'd be like, we're one with nature. Yeah, very hippie-ish, but I like it. She's telling a love story. It's going to be tragic. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to get my heart broken, Kate. Good God.
We both suffered from horrific depression from a young age, and the pain inside our heads and hearts was similar. We both knew that and understood each other's suffering. During my blackout drinking days, I would get while drunk, and many times I begged God to kill me so that I can stop the pain. Once I jumped from a moving car, splitting my skull open in an attempt to die. Paul was a great help through that dark period with his loving, kind demeanor. Both of us were very kind, empathetic naturally, loved animals and helping people, loved to laugh at silly things. Anyway, once I got sober from alcohol, I distanced myself from Paul because he was still using alcohol and drugs. We went about our lives still good friends, and I reach out to him sometimes here and there. And when I moved back to Utah, Paul reached out to get together. I was working on a farm crew. There's a hammer. I don't know what that's for.
Framing crew.
On a framing crew. Yeah. Right. Okay, that's what the hammer is for, because she knew I'd misread it.
Yeah.
And and super tired. So I said, next time we'll meet up, I'm too tired. And he said, okay, I'm headed to Sedona, Arizona, and I'll reach out when I'm back. I will forever regret not seeing him that day. Yeah. During this period, my brother had a major accident at a facility that sucks a material into a 400-degree industrial roller. Is your brother Asian?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean,
they hire him.
Yeah, we should. No lathes in the Nephilim Death Squad factory because you guys will get jammed up.
100%. Yeah, no heavy machinery at all.
I know. Nancy, just stay away from.
Laney and Nancy would be conspiring together to record all heavy machinery.
Their own deaths.
Their own deaths.
The machine got a hold of the tip of his glove and sucked his arm at a rapid speed. Thank the Lord Jesus, he had a mind to tear his arm away from the machine, leaving his arm in shreds, literally veins, tendons, artery, bone. He was rushed to the emergency surgery and had several long surgeries. I was terrified he'd die there. an anesthesiologist making a mistake or something like that. Yeah, that's definitely a concern. So on the 8th of January at nighttime, I was going about my night and I became violently ill, as if I'd been poisoned with something. It came on within seconds and it was full body shaking, everything coming out of both ends, sweating and dizzy, randomly sobbing. It lasted about an hour. I won't know this for another week, but about 24 hours later, Paul died in Sedona. Jeez.
That is crazy.
I believe my violent illness was my soul's subconscious reaction to our connection soon being severed from this realm. That is, I wonder, did you do any kind of like soul bonding with this guy, like purposeful? Any weird esoteric?
I mean, it sounds like laying under the stars in the desert with him and waking up to a herd of cows. I mean, it sounds like she really loved him. Sometimes that, I don't know if that sort of thing needs to happen in a ritualistic fashion, or if just that sort of bonding to an individual is a ritual, but it's natural.
Yeah.
It just happens.
So the next night, the night of the 9th, my brother called Paul to tell him about his horrific arm injury. They were friends. My brother was going on about the surgeries he was going to have, and Paul said, "I'm with some people who have these fake pills. I'm going to try just one. So I got to go, but I'll call you soon." And my brother said, "Be careful, man. That stuff's dangerous." Paul then encouraged my brother to stay strong and that he'll see him soon to help him out. "You got this. I'm going to get you through this. Love you, man." Paul soon died after. Yeah. We don't know the people he was with, but they were not good people. If anyone, even someone Paul disliked in front of him, he would do everything in his power to help save them. Call 911, risk arrest gladly to save a life. These people left him to die. They didn't call anyone, no one knew, and he was found long gone later the next day. Since Paul and I were not that close anymore, I was not actively messaging him, so I had no idea at this point. 3 days after he died, my brother was in surgery. I opened my room door to go to the kitchen and I heard clear as day Kate come from behind my room as I was stepping out through the doorway with my back into my room. I turned around, I saw no one, and in my mind I was worried because my brother had died in surgery. I was worried that my brother had died in surgery and he was saying my name because he sounds similar to Paul. So I didn't want to acknowledge the voice because I was worried that something happened to my brother. Never crossed my mind that it would be Paul because I didn't know that he was gone. I stepped out of the doorway and went into the kitchen, just brushing it off, freaked out. Other than the ho that I heard in the desert, I've never been one to hear a voice. So I believe that before Paul's essence, consciousness, or soul crossed the veil, he came to say goodbye. I kicked myself for not knowing at the time when he came to my room. Yeah, man, how are you supposed to know? Right? It's crazy. You have a lot of regrets about a lot of these things with, people passing, but how the hell should you know?
Yeah.
It's just a thing that happens at this point. So the rest goes without saying. I found out on the 17th, 7 days after he was pronounced dead. My brother was wondering why he wasn't answering, so he checked his Facebook and he saw a post from his dad. When my brother found out, he called me from the hospital and told me, and my reaction was like out of a movie when it gets all fuzzy, slow, and distorted. I was screaming, but it didn't sound like me. I blacked out a little and hung up on my brother. It was one of the most gut-wrenching feelings to lose one of your soul family. Later, I called Jen, a close friend of Paul, who I became close with as well. She picked up the phone, and I said, crying Jen, and she said, "It's Paul, isn't it? He's dead, isn't he?" And we sobbed on the phone together. She mentioned that she too got ill and felt her heart was being crushed with grief the night Paul died, even though she had no clue until I called her. And I had not told anyone about my violent illness. The day after I knew Paul was gone, a raven's feather floated down to my feet. Paul and I would often talk about ravens we saw on our nature outings, so I believe that was him too. It was a crazy experience. I'm sorry this was long. Rest in peace, Paul. Love y'all, Kate. What a crazy story.
Man.
Beautiful story.
It's a beautiful story. It's a heavy one. This is every once in a while. Like I told you on the last episode, you know, I was getting that anonymous one from the guy who, you know, had this really crippling addiction. And it's like, you know, we have a lot of fun on this show but I think it's easy through the comedy to kind of forget occasionally that what we do is we sort of stand in this weird, dark place. And it's not always dark, but it's just the nature of like the spiritual realm is you're going to get really high highs and really low lows. And you're dealing with incredible concepts and incredible stories and incredible experiences. And every once in a while when something like this comes along, it's like, it's heavy, man. It's heavy. It's beautiful, though, in a way that you even get to experience anything like that. And I know it sounds wild to say because you're dealing with the death of somebody who was, you know, Kate feels was connected on a soul level. But when you have an experience like that one, you're getting ill, physically ill to a high degree. And then you look back and you realize that it was within 24 hours of this person who's so meaningful to you dying. I know that sucks, but it really does. It's one of those moments where if you can back up a little bit, you realize that life just pulled the veil back on you. And it's like, there is so much more here in the monotony of your 9 to 5, than your bills piling up, you know, than talking to insurance companies on the phone and dealing with the crowds at Walmart and going through this drudgery that life kind of requires you to go through. That really the most important things, there's something unbelievable.
You know what's crazy?
Right on the other side of that veil.
Like right before the whole thing went down, even at the Tropic Theater, that was on a Tuesday. That weekend, I just had a feeling of impending doom. And it's nothing like what Kate was feeling, but it's just this feeling of like, I'm like, and even before the last Bohemian Grove, I had the same, I remember telling you about that as well. I was like, just feels like something. And then like, you know, my dog dies and then like goes sideways. And I'm just like, yeah, that's what I was feeling. Like you feel the pressure. But the problem is like, I don't know what it is, but you just know that it's something. And I'm at the point where I'm like, I could write it off as like, you're just being, and sometimes you are just being paranoid. Sure. But then it's like, something like right after happened. And this is nothing. This is like what happened to me, to us with this whole event was nothing, but the pressure was there. There was a feeling, and it's not like I'm overwhelmed. It was like a feeling like in your gut where I'm like, oh man, like what next?
It's like
what
something
next?
Was attacking. It's funny because now where I sit after, you know, it's kind of a bit of like post-coitus, right after Bohemian Grove, and like I'm in amazement. I get to meet so many of the people who support us. I got to meet people who inspire me, and I got to do something that was meaningful not only to me but also to all the people that were there, and I consider it a triumph. But now that you've mentioned it, I almost forgot how hard it was. Like 2 weeks before Bohemian Grove, I mean, I was, you know, having all these dreams. I was caught up in anger and resentment. My wife and I even argued in a very unnatural way. Like we never argue, and all of a sudden we were having an argument. It was embarrassing actually because there was these guys here to fix our sink. And we ended
your
up
fucking
arguing.
sink fell through.
My sink fell through, like it just fell. So much of it is weird. Those guys overheard us arguing. It was embarrassing. It never happens. And I realized, I can't believe I almost like forgot about this. But I
didn't even tell you, my well, the water pump in my well just broke, no reason. And it's like, but it was one of those things where my dad's like, hey, I walked by there. There's like a lot of water, and it's just like a random crack. It's brand new. And I was like, I could get mad about this, but I was like, I don't give a I will deal with it. And it's just like, it's not that I put it to the side, but I'm like, I know exactly what this is. And I'm not like, what am I going to do? Go over there and like lose my and scream at the, like, no, it's like, you guys suck. Whatever, again, it's not Is it a spiritual attack because my water well broke? Yeah. Because look at when it happened. It happened the same. It literally happened. We were by the pool. We were talking about what was going on with Clint and all that.
Yeah.
And then like that next day, my dad's like, by the way, huge leak. It's gonna be like $1,200 to fix.
Yeah.
And I'm just. I say,
my
okay.
sink collapses in on itself, and then like the very next morning, my wife is like, "I think we have to get rid of our cat because the lady downstairs." It was like everything was piling up, and
this is why they're like, "Hey, when's the next Bohemian Grove?" I'm like,
What you're asking us is when's the next time you're going to fight through spiritual warfare to accomplish something that, like, obviously, on the other end of it, worth every single. I mean, just think about that. Think about what Toad went through there on stage, right?
What he went through the weeks before.
Yeah, losing his job and everything, and then the solace that came afterwards, the peace and the satisfaction and the love that was like in that room, worth every single struggle. So bad.
I can't stand Emily.
But I recognized it immediately that it was, it was spiritual warfare. It sounds goofy. I remember even saying it to my wife, like when we were arguing, I'm like, this isn't us and this isn't natural. This is coming from someplace else. This is, and I think thank God we had this like grounding foundation in Christ, because if we were doing something that everything is spiritual, whether or not you are aware of it. And if we were doing something that we were completely unaware of the spiritual, we wouldn't have been able to navigate that. I think that was like trying to eat us. It was trying to consume us. And I think we went through some real serious, real rapid character development in that short amount of time. And we had to, or what? I don't know. Or we would have been crushed by something. So, but that's what I'm talking about. You read this story from Kate, and it's like, you can just look at the death of your friend and see it as happening in a vacuum, but not Kate. I mean, Kate realizes there's this profound connection that transcends just the physical loss of her friend. And it's the same thing where it's like, we could look at everything that we went through to get to this moment and just think it was a series of unfortunate, happenings. But it wasn't. It was something profoundly spiritual. And every once in a while, when life gives you the ability, especially in Kate's story there, it'll serve you up some pain. But if you can analyze what happened there, it's like, oh my God, the veil just got pulled back.
And
we were shown.
So this is great for the scary story part with Kate, but I wonder what happened on the other side of that. Because a lot of times when you're doing things, when these kind of things happen to you, there's something that's supposed to happen after. It's either like a growth, or there's a level, and maybe it's a test even. I have the Book of Job kind of stuff. Maybe that feeling that you get in your stomach is like, let me do this to them. Let me do that. And God going, go ahead. Test it out. Yeah. Maybe that's the feeling that you get where you're like, I'm violently ill because there has just been a plot against me. That feeling in my stomach where I'm like, oh man, I can't help it. I can't shake it. It's just this feeling of impending doom. And it's like, is it real? It's like, yeah, it is sort of real. I mean, like Kate you have like real life circumstances that happen to you. Your brother's arm is mangled. Your friends are dead. Your soulmate gets killed. It's like, it's real, but then it's also not real. It's also like temporary, right?
Yeah, it's temporary. And it's also this opportunity where I don't know what happens to these things, if they're the things that are tempting us and poking us and prodding us. If
they go away, or if they just get more angry.
If they're getting judged, it seems like they're getting judged in the end and they're allowed to do this or that. But what it is it's an opportunity over and over and over again for us to choose. Over and over and over again. It's like God allows this thing to happen to you. And then what do you get? You get to choose.
Yeah.
What do you choose? Do you choose to, woe is me? Do you choose to give in to the anger? Do you choose to give in to the resentment? It's okay to feel it, but what do you decide to do with it? Because you have a decision to make. This thing is constantly petitioning you to engage. Here's a thing that's happened to you. Engage with it. What do you choose? Do you choose fear and anger and resentment, and you let it corrode you and poison you, and then it poisons everybody around you? Or do you choose faith and acceptance and submission to God? And that's like the hugest thing that I think I've learned. Not like it's profound for the audience. A lot of people are already there and already understand that. But for me to internalize that and understand that and then like implement it into my own life, the more I do it, the better I get at implementing that. I've always been like I tell my son that Corbos have one rule, and it's dress like a no. It's it's we never panic. And I've told him that since he was a kid, and now I'm realizing that like fear not situation, that what I've actually told my son is something much more profound than I originally realized. And what I've effectively told him is like, we don't submit to fear. It's okay to feel it, but you have a decision to make. Do you remain there or do you move forward? And the way to move forward is, through faith. So I've always had that, but now I keep commenting like, that's kind of a banger of a shirt.
It's a banger of a shirt.
I've always had that, but now I understand it more. It's like you learn a thing, but then you teach a thing and you get a deeper understanding of it. It's kind of similar to what I've been going through lately, where I've always known this. I've known that panicking and fear does not make a bad situation better. And that's a good place to start. But I've now learned that it is the opposite of faith in God. And like I realize it works on such a deeper and more profound level than what I previously understood.
That's something that I talk about with Owen, and he understands it also. And it's more than like, but it's more than what I'm gonna say. But it is very much like this. It was like, if I do this thing, then I get this thing. And that's kind of crazy. It's like, if I'm not afraid, then I get this thing at the end. So it makes the decisions almost very easy. Like it's like, we call it, but when they thanking us for thank you for having Owen. And I was like, decision was super easy. Like it was always like, we're not going to do that.
There's no reward when you choose fear.
Yeah. I was like, and also like, I was like, it almost feels disingenuous because I'm looking at like, okay, I could have like, Sam come and that's freaking awesome. And then I could not have this guy come, but I'm like, I could just have this guy come and he would be great. And I was like, yeah, what are you talking about? And they were like, well, what about this thing? That's scary. I was like, I don't give a about that thing. I'm not really scared of it. I should be probably, but I don't know why I'm just not. Although I do think like, I don't know, as we continue to aggravate and push forward, I'm like, damn, man, they're going to really, somebody like, you're going to eventually come for us. But
yeah, well, I mean, I
fine.
think that, what is it? To whom much is given, much is tested, right? It's like, it is going to keep going that way. The more times we choose, fear is going to get mad, right? The more times that we go, it's going to get bigger and bigger. It's going to try harder and harder. And I don't think that trend's going to end. I think one day we'll just leave this mortal coil and then, hopefully we did a good job and God will be like, based, guys, you crushed, that would be, nice. But otherwise,
I think that, and you know what, well, I'll talk about Clint a little bit. And I think then we should wrap it up. But I think that's what his problem is. And it's kind of crazy that like, maybe working like my old job, working on the subway, I used to go to like, every time I'd go to work, I'd be like, give your wife a kiss, because I'm like, this honestly could be the last time that you see me. That is legitimately dangerous. Like,
yeah,
if I could find a video of how we drop, I'll find a video of how you're supposed to drop CWR. It's not a joke. Hold on, let's see if we can find it. So I will go to work and I just have to be okay with dying for a paycheck. And I kind of got, let me see, CWR drop MTA, so that people could understand and I was actually on this team because I somehow got good at it, which is a bad idea. Oh, this is it. Yeah, look at this. They nailed it. Let's skip the ad. And here we go. Let's pull this up. I used to operate that. That's called the CWR machine. What the fuck was that thing called? But these are the tunnels that you would go through, and that CWR machine would. Oh, here they're explaining how you drop the rail. So it's continuously welded rail, so 390 feet. Usually a rail is just 39 feet, but these are 10 of them together because why not? And this is how they come in the train. Huge train. Yeah. It just eliminates the ball joints. It's really for rich people that live underneath the subway, because when the train hits the joints, it goes chunk 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 chunk. Like when you hear a train, that's because it's hitting 39 feet of rail, and then it'll like that. So they weld them. And at Linden Yard, we would weld these as well. I would weld these and then hook them up to a big crane with 2 hooks. And when we welded them, we'd have to spin them over our heads, and it's psychotic. But this is what I would do before I drove the truck. So you tie
several tons of steel.
Yeah. Do you see this thing here? This is it's a special type of joint, but it's basically like a rail joint, and you just use like a nut and bolt, and you tie it to the front of the head of that thing. Then you take that wire and you tie it underneath an existing tie, or like see those are ties underneath the rails. So it's creating pressure. And of course they're playing music, but when this thing comes out, it's screaming like the devil.
Oh,
so
yeah.
The train drives away. Okay, do you see what these guys are doing? So 39.
They're trying to use leverage to fish it into place.
Right. Well, no, we're just guiding it as the best as we can, and the idea is to get it to fall in the gauge and have it stand up with the head up. Because if it falls sideways, then we got to flip it. You can do it. It's just a pain in the ass. So as this thing is going, it's tied to the very end there, and that's actually probably me, one of these guys. And look at this. We're like feet in the gauge here with just wooden sticks, and as it's driving away, it's like, and it's going like this, and you're pushing it as much as you can, and then running to catch up and continuing to guide this thing into a hole. Yeah, sounds cool. It's cool, but to do it day after day, like when we did this once a week, and I was on the CWR drop team, so it's like I'm okay with dying. Like I know a guy that actually got just touched by this thing and snapped his leg in half, because it's like it's crazy. So look at this. And we're just going boom, boom. Oh, look, that's at my boy Jimmy Salerno. Okay.
That's hilarious.
Look, and you see how it drops when it gets to the end? It just drops. But this thing is crazy as you go. And yeah, whatever. This is how it's not called a critter. This is whatever. So this is how you do it. I know these guys. I know some of these guys. They're drilling some holes. This is what I used to do every day. So anyway, point is, I'm okay. Like, I just became like okay with death. And to go back to what Clint is doing, I think this helped me. Clint is very worried about World War III and a bomb being dropped, and
he's actually worried, which is
like
interesting, because that
he's like
is dead in me.
If you talk to him like in real life, he's like worried about it, and I feel the concern. I got people. How many people did I see down there? Like at least 3. But anyway, back to. So like he has that fear about dying, and that's like that for me is dead for me inside. I don't have that fear. I think a lot of this, because when I tell people like I did construction, this is not construction. This is not a screwdriver. Like that nut runner right there is like, that's 100 pounds. This is like everything down there is on steroids and crazy. It's the purest part of New York City. I just don't have it in me anymore, and I think that's good, because when we're talking about fear not, like I mean it. Like I don't. If you're not afraid of dying, of literally dying, like you have to have looked this in the face. And listen, I don't want to die, but
no, but
I'm not yeah.
I had a similar thing from being homeless, and it was like, I really thought of, there was one time in my life where I remember entertaining the idea of killing myself, and allowing it. It wasn't like I said it out loud. I allowed, the thought is always there to some degree. But I allowed myself to entertain it. Like, let's look at it. Let's look at it and think about the logistics of it. And it brought me to tears that I even allowed myself to think about it. And I realized something there where I was like, happiness is actually a choice. So what I did was like, I figured out a way to be happy even though I was homeless. And that goes for everything. Like peace is a choice. Happiness is a choice. And I've been talking a lot about this idea of like people protecting their peace. There's these TikTok bitches that are constantly like, you got to protect your peace. Don't let this in. Don't let that in. And really what you're doing is you're putting up a wall, and you're, number one, you're avoiding things that are wrong in your life. And number two, you're just making it so that you're not facing these things. Instead, what you should be doing is fixing the filter that these things pass through. So the problem with building a wall to protect yourself from all the things that you think are scary, are one of these things is going to get through the wall, and then you're not going to know how to deal with it. Instead, what you need to do is allow these things to get passed through the wall and hold them and have a look at them. These things that are scary, these things that disrupt your peace. And if you can properly pass them through the correct filter, then they don't cause all of the anxiety and the fear and the sadness and the depression that you're afraid of in the first place. I figured that out when I was a kid. Happiness is a choice. You know why? Because I knew, it's like, how could these people in these tribes with no water, you know, and they're getting wells drilled, and how come they're smiling? How could they ever smile? People in America are suffering from depression. We have everything that we could ever want, and we're suffering from depression. How are these tribes people smiling? Because it's a choice. I mean, they're not making that choice, but I realized that there is something going on. The way we perceive happiness and satisfaction in America is all up. We think it's like when you have everything going right and you have everything you want, that's happiness. And when something comes along and it disrupts it, that's sadness, that's anger. No, it's not. This is happiness. This is anger. This is the filter that all of the world passes through. You're the filter. You decide what to do with that information. So I was young when I figured that out, man. And if I didn't figure that out, I probably was going to off myself.
It's funny, too, because it goes right back to, like, even at this point, as I'm becoming okay with death, it goes back to the story of Jesus when I didn't want to hear about it. But you notice as you read the Gospels and like when he's talking to the disciples and they don't seem to get it, they're also very young. They're not like 30s, but they're 20s maybe or younger. But they don't get it because he's not talking about like necessarily right now. He's not talking about just the physical, because they're like, what do you mean you're not going to be with us? And he's like, no, like, just, it'll be fine. Like, I've been telling you guys, but they still don't get it time after time after time. And then when you do finally get it, you're kind of like, right. Mm-hmm. Right. There's a little bit more.
Well, that's what I keep going to. So it's like, if you wanted to maybe boil it down, in all things, you have a choice. And that choice is really, really, really simple. And that's when I realized, like, low information people who have faith have it figured out just as much as high information people who understand how the world works, right? It's really just about faith. You can have none of the information. You can be a guy who doesn't do all the studying and the research and the conspiratorial bullshit that we do. You could just have faith, and you'll navigate this just as well as we can, because after all of that information, I came out of the other side and I realized, it's just about fear versus faith. Yep, and if you lean on God, you could observe the amazing things about this reality, but don't try to grab them. Don't try to bend them to your will. Don't try to schedule everything about your life. Lean on God. God likes that. It's the exact opposite of fear. Fear causes you to try to understand everything. Fear causes you to try to control everything, to schedule everything, to because you're afraid of the unknown. What is there to be afraid of? If God's real and you believe in God's will and you believe in God has a plan for you, what the f are you afraid of? And that's like, once you get there, you can get there without all the information. You can get there without reading all the dumb and understanding the grimoires and looking at what the elites are doing. You can understand.
It's the meme of the IQ, the bell curve. At the very bottom, and the other side, the guy with the hood, and it's like you're saying the same things.
That's exactly.
You guys get it. But I think that's a good place to wrap it before we dig this message. Just spike this message with some racism or something like that.
We were going to do it. I felt it coming. Guys, thank you for watching. If you have any strange stories you want to submit, chroniclesnds@gmail.com. We'll read it. We'll make fun of you. It'll be fun. It'll be fun for us. It'll be fun for you. Shout out to the people who sent stuff today. Shout out to Joel and Kate. Wonderful stories. Thank you guys so much for sharing. And I think that's it, dude. That's all we got.
That's it?
I think so.
The greatest hypnotist on planet Earth is a oblong box in the corner of the room. It is constantly telling us what to believe is real. You can persuade them. what they see with their eyes is what there is to see. Because they'll laugh in the face of an explanation that portrays the bigger picture of what's happening. And they have.